Caution, wait, please do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my lines. Wait, I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution, wait, please do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my lines. Wait, I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution, look at my face, pay me respect. Please do not play with my line. If you want taste, what you gon' get? Shit that gon' bury your mind. All that's at stake, where is my check? Need every nickel and dime. You play with my race, put you in check. No stopping the vision to climb. They mad that these niggas done woke up and now all our visions to go. Where is the bag to get us so caught up? Yeah, that is the mission and goal. Staying on cold. Some of y'all doing too much. Straight up be looking like hoes. Never gonna grow. Can't count on you in clutch. Most of y'all doing the most. Like this is a show. Doing it for entertainment. Or you're doing it for clout. Or you're doing it to sit at the table with crackers for words in your mouth. I don't play with enslavement. These are the days of the South. These days we play differently. This is what black empowerment's about. Wait, I said there's no time for no friends. Either you with us against us, don't switch it, cause one of us dying to end. Hey, I'm keeping my eye on the lens. Watching the ops despising the picture cause they wanna see the one end. Hey, caution, wait, these do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my life. Wait, I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution, wait, please do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my life. I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution.
Hold on, wait. See a black man doing great with black-owned businesses, building in a different state. Why you snakes way late in the grass, plotting on what you can take? Papa, black money in a black bank, mean black money is safe, protected, like it's heavily protected. If he ever feels threatened, then he go a lead and knock him off his check. Please check this. For the record, he can never be weak. Disrespecting any checking your cheek. Reppin' said he reppin' red, black, and green. Never fall, won't break. There's no limit to what I do for mine. But you so they don't take them up with the anger and hate up all of my ancestors combined. You wanna get one time? I keep it fully loaded, extended in the fully auto effing to keep you from crossing that gun line. You in violation. I ain't never shot a caveman. You be the first, I'ma give you this work. You get in the way of my occupation, yeah. Like I'm the boss and I don't like the way that you talking. This is my office, get permission before you walk in. The yellow tape because the door means caution.
Wait, please do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my life. Wait, I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution, wait, please do not play with my mind. Hey, I do not play with my life. Wait, I keep protection for mine. You will not touch what is mine. I do not play with my shine. Caution.
Welcome, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk Worldview with your brother Tad, your sister Marcia, and your brother Blacksmith, who will be joining us shortly. We have a power-pack evening for y'all this evening. We got several guests that are coming on, and we're going to keep it rolling, keep it moving. Brother Tad, you ready? He said, yeah. Brother Tad, what's good?
There we go. Peace to the family out there. What up, Sister Keisha? How you feeling?
Good, brother. Good. You know, things are moving along. Shout out to the OG Wisdom Podcast. I hope y'all watching every Sunday at 2 p.m. That's every Sunday at 2 p.m. The OG Wisdom Podcast. And of course, as soon as he goes live, it's posted on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page. So in case you miss it, it's always there. But we want y'all to like and subscribe. Please do that. Please do that. We don't ask y'all for no bread. We just want y'all liking and subscribing. That's all we need.
But I am building a daycare. Hold up, Sister Keisha. I am building the first African-centered daycare on the planet. So I'm going to need them donations. The very first African-centered daycare is going to be Nanny of the Maroons, Nat Turner, Children of the Diaspora Daycare. I'm gonna need y'all to send those cash apps in.
You trying to take the King Kong's job? Is that what you're trying to do, Tad? Is that what it is?
Yep, and I'm marrying Sexy Red. Wedding's gonna be February 30th. The address is Pound Town. That's right, brothers and sisters, come down to Pound Town. Me and Sexy Red will be jumping the African broom. But now, on a serious note, though, we really appreciate everybody that tune in, like, subscribe. Look, Thorough Black Talk almost up to 1,000 subscribers. You know, we right there. We like 7 and change. Tell a friend to tell a friend we back again. Like, share, post. Let's move from 1,000 to 5,000. Let's get these numbers up.
That's what we talking about, because we got a huge following on Facebook. We got to get Instagram and YouTube on the same page, because we about to do some serious things. In fact, you know, as we move closer to the summer, we might not be going live every Thursday because there are so many things that are taking place. We're real journalists over here. So we got to be on the ground for a lot of things. And if I need to be in certain places on Thursdays, that's where I need to be, because a lot of these town hall meetings are taking place. And I got to get footage. I got to get these interviews, and we got to make it happen, because, you know, we're at critical mass right now with our people. So, of course, you know, Thorough Black Talk Worldview, this is what we do, you know. But you're going to have a lot of content that's being posted on our Instagram page and, of course, our YouTube page. So you won't be without. You have a lot of content.
Not to mention, we will be doing events again, you know, trips and meetings, get-togethers and things like that. Sister Keisha definitely got the bike event going on once the weather breaks. We're going to be hiking, walking. You know, I'll be back in the park doing the workouts, the free workouts. So if you feel inclined to get in shape, you can meet me in Prospect Park. You can meet Sister Keisha on the Belt Parkway. You can meet us both there at both locations, because we definitely believe in physical fitness.
Speaking of that, Brother Tad, you see, let me tell you how the ancestors work, boy. Y'all better stop playing with us. I was just on a Zoom meeting with some of my all of the SWAT team. And we were planning out the rest of our calendar for the year. And so one of the things that I spoke to the ladies about is accompanying you in Prospect Park for that workout. So you will have all the SWAT ladies there.
Hello.
My job is to take video and photographs.
And them push-ups, Sister Keisha, them push-ups. Got to get the push-ups, the planks, the figure eights. You got to get your figure eights in, Sister Keisha.
Right now, I stopped speaking English. I don't even speak English no more. Die.
But yeah, family, we definitely going to take it from the internet into real space, you know, because it's that time where we really have serious conversation amongst each other. You know, the internet is all good. It's fun. We give information, also entertainment, because that's what the internet is for. It's pretty much entertaining. As you see, they censor what we can and can't say. They start tweaking with the algorithms, not pushing your information to the forefront. They only going to feed you ratchetness. And this is one of the tools they use to keep our people confused. So those of us that know better got to show better. And that's what we're going to do. So again, donate to my Cash App for my first ever. Yeah. Why you laughing, Sister Keisha? Our children need this education.
He's a troublemaker. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself. I just let him go ahead. That's all. I just let him go ahead. That's my brother. You know, my mother used to tell me, you know, just let your brother go ahead. Go ahead. That's all. Just let him go ahead. Because
you know, my uncle used to say, no fool, no fun. Like I always say, you know, this work we do is serious, but we definitely got to find time to laugh, play, enjoy life, enjoy each other's company. You know, everything can't be so rigid and serious all the time. You know, can't find time to smile and enjoy life. This thing we call life is going to be over before we know it, so we better enjoy it while we can. A lot of people living miserable lives out there. Sucks to be them.
And I don't want to be on that team.
Nope.
I'm not on that team.
I like laughing, getting money, and winning.
That's what I'm talking about. And shout out to the Uhuru movement. They asked me to come and speak at their event last Saturday. So I thought I was just on, you know, the list of speakers to be there. But in fact, I was actually honored So it was a great surprise. You never
Well
know who's
deserved, sis.
watching.
Well
You,
deserved.
you never know who's watching. You never
It's
know
a
who's
fact.
watching. Myself, Sister Inez Barron, they honored the women of Move, a few others.
He was
So
among good company.
yes, 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 yes. So shout out to them. But we'll get into that a little bit later because even
Yes,
though
we
I
have
was
to, sis. We have to
yeah,
get into that.
I'll get
Have
into
to
the
get into that.
details once Dr. Phile get in here a little bit later on the second half. But because I I'm real humble, whether y'all know it or not. I'm really humble. And when they asked me to talk about some things, I started honoring others who came before me. So that's just the way that it flows. So I thank the Uhuru movement. Shout out to them for honoring us during Women's History Month. So we'll get into all of that later. I'll give y'all all the details of what happened. And again, like my brother Tad says, so many things we have coming down the pipe. Sister Marcia and I, we have some more museum trips to attend to, rather. And then, like I said, there are a lot of events that are happening. And shout out to our brother Q Butter, who's
Yeah.
having his STEM program at the Weeksville Heritage Center later on. So we'll definitely be there for that, getting some interviews, taking some footage, and we'll bring it all back to y'all. So we're gonna be moving and shaking. So just ride with us, ride with us, ride with us. And shout out to all the new followers. We appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all. And of course, anything that you missed, you can definitely catch it on our social media streams. Shout out to the BK William Mackey History Club. I will be with them in 2 weeks. I will be back doing a presentation with them in 2 weeks. So get ready, family. It's coming. Let's give some shout outs and we're going to get right into it because our guest will be on in about 15 minutes. Sister Donna, Brother Kelwood out of Alabama. Alabama, Birmingham family in the building. Love you, love you, love you. Aunt Marie, Brownsville's finest in the building, y'all. Sister Lex. I found an old photo of us, sis. I might pull that up tonight. It is Throwback Thursday. Don't worry, it ain't that
Pull it
long.
up. Pull it up.
I got stuff in the crate.
We ain't see Sister Lex in a minute.
I got stuff in the crate, Brother Tag. People don't know. A BB for Hodier, Sister Farnessa.
BB for Hodier.
Yay. Sister Joy's brother Monty on the check-in, our Nassau County family in the building. And shout out, I didn't know we got so many followers from overseas. So shout out to everybody across the pond. We got people in Germany who watch us, people in Japan who watch us, people in Trinidad, Jamaica, on the continent. Definitely appreciate y'all. I ain't gonna leave the shout outs. I ain't gonna leave you out. Brother Lumumba, Philly family in the building. What's good? What's good? Brother Lumumba, he's a real one. Better believe that. Sister Marie, Baltimore family on the check-in. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, I got the leopard pop tonight. I got some more hats coming in. I got some more coming in. I got some stuff people are sending me for the summer. So even Stetson. Y'all better stop playing with me. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So again, Dr. Phile will be here on the second half. And we got a lot to discuss because MWM is making some moves. And, we like to keep people informed over here. We let the people tell their story over here. We don't mess with no foolishness. Sister Pat, UAM family in the building. Crown Heights finest. Let's get it. Brother Magnetic Peace Tyson, North Kakalaki in the building. What's good? Ready to rock? Brother Black, you ready? He said, yeah. What's good, Brother Black? How you feeling?
What up, y'all? Peace,
Brother Black.
Peace to New York. I heard y'all having a Northeasterner coming up.
Yeah, man. You need to send some of them solar flares this way.
Man, it's April already, bro. That's supposed to have been in effect.
Yeah, you turned it off.
Well, 3 more days, brother. 4 more days, excuse me.
3 more days, I can hit the beach?
No, well, let's see what happened with this eclipse. Hey, I got a great idea for your school, man. You have Dr. Sukiana do a benefit concert.
That's what's up.
There it is.
That's what's up. Hun Sexy Red. We open it up in Pound Town.
Troublemakers.
Hey, I'll go back to the Bronx and get Remy and Cardi B to fill in the slots.
Then the cipher's complete. Oh man, that's what we need too.
Black gonna get us in trouble.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Every time Black talk, I gotta call a lawyer because you never know where it's gonna go with Black. So I'll be ringing her phone like 2:00 in the morning. Shout out to my attorney, Sister Patrice. I love you. But sometimes, because speaking of that, we're gonna get into it because the feds is coming down hard on people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Even using 100 is high on the feds list right now.
Really?
I ain't lying. I ain't never lied, brother.
The little emoji 100?
What I'm telling you, that's a flag right now. That's a flag. We're gonna get into it. I'm telling you, we're gonna get into it. Now, for a while, the feds or the FBI have been swooping down on folks, pulling up, to their houses.
Hey, Sister Keisha, real quick, that link you sent me, I don't know if it was last night or earlier today. I couldn't open it. So is that what you implying right now or talking about?
I don't know, because I sent you quite a few stuff.
It was the FBI one and how they pull up on you.
Yes,
I couldn't open it though.
That's it.
Okay.
We're gonna show it though. I'm gonna get it ready for y'all in a minute. But this is what's happening. And we've been telling y'all here on for quite a few years now that freedom of speech is under attack. So even telling your story, like our guest tonight, Sister Pamela Smith, who'll be on in a few minutes, her story. So I'm telling y'all, panelists, instead of saying S assault, we're going to use the word, we're going to just say SA. How about that? We're going to say SA or grape, because right now everything is getting flagged. As a matter of fact, the last lecture I did for the BK William Mackey History Club, I just talked about the atrocities that Black women have suffered from the plantation till now. And that video was flagged. They pulled his video down quickly. I use no film footage or anything like that, just verbiage. And that became problematic. And Facebook is a big snitch, and we'll see. Matter of fact, hold on. Here we go, family. Let me just pull this up while Sister Marcia get ready. Hold on. Here we go.
Yourself, and let me take imagery of your IDs.
I'm not gonna show you my credentials on the phone.
So you said you were with the FBI, and why won't you show me your credentials? I didn't take a look at them. I said 1 second, I'll be right back. Are you going to show me your credentials or no?
Yeah, we did already. So, and we identified ourselves. So what we'd like to do.
I didn't look at your credentials again. I didn't verify them. I told you to wait, and I went inside.
Okay, that's correct. What we'd like to do is just have a conversation with you about some sort of review posts that you've made. Would you be willing to talk about?
Wow.
No, I would not. I would like you to later talk on with my lawyer.
Okay.
Do you have identification cards? No. I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right. You might just have your attorney contact the FBI office in the city.
What's the number? What are the names of the agents?
I'll Google it for you.
So you're refusing to identify yourselves.
No, we don't have.
Again, I did not take a look.
Okay, so the phone number for the FBI in Oklahoma City is 405-290-7770.
Okay.
If you just call me and he'll look at your contact with us when you have this.
And tell him that Facebook flagged me for posts.
Facebook gave us a couple of screenshots.
So who flagged her?
Facebook.
Yo, wow.
Listen, this is serious business. Because what we're doing now, and we've said it here on this platform for quite some time, that we are destroying mainstream. We are destroying mainstream. They can no longer, in 2024 and beyond, they can no longer feed lies to people anymore because information is right at our fingertips, and you have a lot of folks who are combating the lies, and that's problematic. When you combat lies, you mess up business. So to them, it's a business move. The US is on a decline. So they don't need no negativity right now. If you don't believe the US is on a decline, then you got a lot of research to do. You really got a lot of research to do. But that's where it is right now. Yes, they coming at people for comments, for posts, whatever. So just be strategic. If you are a streamer, not so much you guys in the comments, but if you're a streamer and if you're a blogger or a writer or something of that sort, be strategic with your writing and your words because they are watching. And there are some popular streamers that we all know that the FBI have already swooped down on a lot. So
the other day, Sister Keisha, real quick, the other day I couldn't post one of my blog articles. It wouldn't even let me. As soon as I put it in the and to post it, and I press enter, it wouldn't even let me post because, and it's not my article. It was an article that I got from Ben Fulford, and it had the K word for the so-called J words. So I'm trying to be strategic just to make a point to say I can attest to what you're saying.
That's why the power of language is very important. One of the things that we've begun posting on our Instagram page is words of the day to help you elevate your vocabulary. There are things that you can say or words that you can use that mean the very same thing. So follow us on IG. You definitely going to get a lot of information. Shout out to our mods. We definitely going to need y'all because, we've been posting a lot of information in the last week or so. And again, our platforms have grown. Some of the comments have been quite disrespectful, but it is what it is. This is the business that we're in. So for the mods out there, just watch the crazies out there. One video that I posted really, really disturbed me. Someone sent it to me and I posted it, and I think it's up to like 10,000, 12,000 views or whatever. But it's really crazy. Black man was accosted by police, plain clothes and uniform, and things just went awry. And I think that if the people had not been on the scene during this particular time, actually, it could have gone another way. So I post this and I asked the question, plainclothes cop pistol whips man on the street. Now, is this over policing? Now, you be the judge. We gonna let y'all see it. So here we go. Hold on, family.
Hey!
Yo, get out. Yo,
Chill.
Recording.
I am.
Yo, bro.
Hey! Bro! No, don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. Bro! Please don't. Stop. Look at me. Please. Oh my God. All right. Bro. All right. Relax.
He's good now.
Relax.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Why you hit me with
Turn around.
Turn over. Nah, why you hit me with that gun? You're trying to take off of it. I ain't trying to do shit. Get off. Why you hit me?
Get on the ground.
Nah, why you hit me with
stop.
that gun?
No,
Why
no,
you ain't
no.
got no camera on?
Turn over.
I got it on camera. Just stop,
Just back up,
okay?
please.
Stop.
Tase him.
No, don't tase him.
No. Why tase you? Nah.
Very, very disturbing. This was in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. It was sent to me, and you know, this is where we're at. And I told you all for quite some time, it's gonna be tough this summer. The hammer is coming down. You have black mayors, black ADAs, black speakers of city council, and there is a point that must be made. I know some people like to champion former President Donald Trump or current President Joe Biden, but no matter which way you go, the hammer is going to come down on black people, especially this summer, because now there is verbiage of law and order. We all know what that dog whistle means for the upcoming presidential election. And it's really going to be tough, but broad daylight. And not only did he pistol whip this young man, did you see the plainclothes cop try to pull his pants down? Why was he trying to pull his pants down? Then he wanted, go ahead, Black.
No. I don't want to cut your wisdom. Finish, please.
Then he want him to keep his head down on the ground. The same side of the head that you just bust wide open. You want him to lay it on the ground. This is the inhumanity of savages. And you have the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, telling you that they're going to get tougher.
But hold on.
Stop, question, and frisk.
Where that smoke for the immigrants that's wilding out on the police? Not resisting arrest, wilding out. Starting it, wilding out. Where that smoke at for them? So that's cause for a class action.
They are protected federally under the refugee status.
Hell nah.
I'm telling you, this is why.
I know what you're saying. I'm sorry.
But I know where you're going, Black, because I had some other footage that I can't even put up of something that was sent to me. I can't even put up. Is that disturbing? And this was to me, he looked as if he was about 14 or 15. It looked to me. But when it comes to children, I don't like to post these type of things because it's already traumatizing for adults. And this is what they're doing, traumatizing us. You know, shout out to Dr. Arthur Lewis. Last night, one of the key phrases that he kept saying was, this is a slave nation. This has always been a slave nation, and they're going to continue to treat us this way. So, you know, that thing bothered me. Sister Pat, that's in Bed-Stuy on Putnam Ave. That was on
Putnam. And you know what's crazy, sis, right? Because it's Putnam and Tompkins. Black Girl Magic. That is the corner where all of the culture and the activities take place. I recognized as soon as I saw Bed Vine. And, you know, I think Brother Ashe was talking about last one of the few times he was on the show before he took his break about neighbors complaining and it being black neighbors complaining. And we know that that's one of the last hubs in our community that hasn't been completely gentrified and our culture is still celebrated. The vitriol, the anger that little dude had, the officer, you pushing him in the car saying, get on the ground, sending conflicting messages. You got a gun pointed at him. Like, words can't express how upset I am right now. And I'm not going to say we used to it, but I didn't expect anything different from this officer. And I hope the mayor gets on his job and fires that police officer, because that was a dangerous situation. Is what you said. It could have went left. It could have been another Eric Garner. It could have been another Mike Brown. And for what? Because you asked me, it looks like a traffic stop. A traffic stop that may have gone left. It's just crazy out here.
Let me bring in my sister Marcia. I see her in the background. You ready, Marcia? She says yes. Yeah, Sister Marcia, how are you this evening?
Peace, family. Happy
Thursday.
Peace,
Sister Marcia.
Black. I know that video got you sized up. It's all right.
You know how I am with seeing our people tortured senselessly, especially at the hands of someone we're paying dollars for their quote unquote career and or job. It makes no sense. It's senseless. And yeah, my focus in that all was the mere fact that he was tearing that man's pants down. Like, why? What are you trying to do right now? What is going on? Because he didn't have anything in his pockets, and he went from back to front too while searching. So he is obviously trying to grab at something, and I'm tired.
I know that's right. But, Brother Taz said maybe the mayor will do something about it. He is pro-police. And I don't know if y'all follow Sister Alunati, but you should. She be giving the mayor the business. So here's a clip from the Breakfast Club where he tried to weasel out of it. And she gave him the works. Here we go.
I didn't put the National Guards in the subway. The governor did.
I know, but I know what you said.
But you said, Eric.
You stood with Governor Kathy Hochul and you co-signed that decision. You did. And I'm not saying this as someone who's following social media. I'm saying that as an attorney in the city and an activist who follows everything that you do.
Yeah, I'm glad you do. Because then you realize how I turned the city around. If you follow everything I do, you realize
I would say no, but we could get to that next.
Loosen up your tie, man. Yeah, it'll be a long day.
Listen, and I didn't put the National Guards in the subway.
It's just foolishness. Foolishness. He is pro-police. When she talked about the young 19-year-old who was shot by police, he said, what about the officer who was shot? Let me give y'all some numbers here. Nationwide, 73 police officers were shot and lost their lives. 73. That is in far comparison to unarmed folks, black, white, and Asian, who have been shot and murdered. There's a website called killedbypolice.org. You can check it out for yourselves. But this is where we're at. Black faces in high places have always been problematic. And we're going to have to do something about that. We really going to have to do something about it. Sister Donna said the justice system is an injustice system, period. Just don't make any sense. Absolutely. Vanessa says she should have asked him about those illegals jumping on those cops. You know what? He would slither his way out of that. He's a slick talker. That's what he does. That's why he's in the position that he's in. He's a slick talker. And he's going to keep it, that way. That's how he moves. You know what I mean? So we should expect nothing less from these black faces in high places as far as law enforcement is concerned. Because my thing is this. I would have asked the question, how many police officers, because he asked her later on in that interview, well, how many funerals have you attended for slain police officers? She asked him, well, how many funerals you attended for slain black people who was murdered by the police? So then he says, but I have. She said, no, you haven't. And he said, no, I'm talking about the officer. So he stood firm. We're not going to deter the conversation about, you being disingenuous about the murder of a slain police officer. That's not what she did. That's not what she said. And she reiterated that. I would never say that. I don't want nobody innocently murdered for no reason. I'm saying, where were you when it happens to innocent, unarmed folks, especially our folks. You know where to be seen. You know what I mean?
He trying to battle with a attorney. He ain't never gonna win that. He's like a lying cop on the bench, and she's the prosecutor drilling him. He ain't gonna win that.
Absolutely. He knew he met his match. And so that's why he kept stuttering a lot. And that actually has looped and is going viral on YouTube. You know, he sound like Jay-Z trying to get a verse out.
Well, also, he must have thought that he was on a platform who wouldn't challenge him, right? Being on, what was it, Hot 97 or whatever station that
Power 105.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Tad. So he assumed that he wouldn't be challenged. He would have yes people, and he could even then toe out that, because this is right before our presidential primary that happened on Monday or Tuesday, whatever. So he just thinks that he's on a platform to advocate for his bosses, and he got drilled down, like Brother Black said, by an attorney who was about her business for her people and didn't care about his rhetoric and his slick talk. She just kept hammering at him, and again, he stuttered. But no, but the officer, I hate that man.
Brother Ray, he said the station is hat controlling all a dog and pony show with the, it is what it is.
He ain't say pony, he said phony.
Thank you for that.
Dog and phony show.
Thank you for that. Yeah, you got to watch it. Actually, the whole thing is on YouTube right now. We have a slight delay with Sister Pam, but we got Sister Nzinga in for her, and we're gonna bring her in. Sister Nzinga, give me the thumbs up and let me know you're ready. She's ready. Sister Nzinga, welcome to Thorough Black Talk Worldview. How are you?
Black Power. Black Power, y'all.
Black Power,
great. I am excited. I got my whole family coming to Washington, D.C. today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So before we get into Sister Pamela Smith, tell us who you are. Where you rocking out. Welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge. But tell us where you from and how are you a part of all of this?
It's a long story. I don't think y'all got enough time, but I'll try. Okay. I am Sister Janae from Washington, D.C. I was born here. I wasn't raised here because you hear my voice. I was raised down south, South Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Shout out to my hometown. I'm always
85 in the house.
Yes, 85 South. Yes. I was raised in South Carolina, but both of my parents were from D.C. So we always took that pilgrimage back and forth, I am the former chairwoman of the New Black Panther Party for self-defense. I still hold National Minister of Community Program Development, but I'm not participating in the party right now. Just, independently, still developing community programs. Okay. So, during my time in the New Black Panther Party, we traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay, on behalf of Queen Mother Pamela Smith. Now, this was back in 2019, I believe, 2019, because I've been to Tulsa maybe 6 times back and forth, 6 times, 6, 7, 8 times on behalf of Miss Smith. Myself, I escorted the national chairman, Sheikh Imam Akbar, at the time he was the national chief of staff, to Tulsa, Oklahoma to answer the call for Queen Mother Pamela Smith. Someone got in touch with us through the DC chapter office and they told us her story, and she reached out to my national chief of staff. So when we got word and we went to Tulsa the first time, now, the very first trip we took to Tulsa, let me tell you, it was a life-changing event for me. Because at the time, I always tell people the honest truth, I was not in the best place and mentally very unstable, going through a lot. But when I ran into the new Black Panther Party, it changed my life. You know, it really changed my life in a better direction, more positive. And when we went to Tulsa to answer the call of being, you know, a part of the new Black Panther Party, I got to hear her story of how she was a formerly incarcerated inmate on like a work release program. And the man that was her, you know, told her, you know, gave her schedules or whatever, he was raping her and abusing her. And it wasn't just a simple rape one time, but it was like every day, constantly, every time she showed up for her work assignment. You know, and this particular time he assaulted her. It was her sister was dying. Her sister Elwita was dying. She was in the hospital dying. And the only way that he would let her get off of work to even go see her sister was if she had sex with him. And he took this white man took he was like the director of the DMV. She was cleaning up the old Department of Motor Vehicles. And he took a salt shaker, a glass salt shaker, and stuck it inside of her and cut her up with the glass salt shaker. And something told her to keep the glass salt shaker as evidence. She said she went to everybody. She went to the directors. She went to the people in the jail. She told everybody this man was sexually assaulting her, and nobody believed her. So she had the salt shaker examined by the detective. She turned it in for evidence in her rape kit because she told him she was raping him. She went for help. And I mean, it's just, you know, I'm going to pause for a minute for questions because I don't want to get ahead of myself. She can tell her story a lot better than I can. But she's preparing to come over here to Washington, D.C. from Tulsa right now. But just pause for a minute and think about that. You're an incarcerated inmate. You only want to go see your sister because she's passing away. She had cancer, I believe. Yes. And this man, the only way you can get out and go after you've done your job, have sex with him and go see your dying sister. Okay. Now this man, my God, with Donald Reed Cochran, that's his name. Donald Reed Cochran. I think, no, what was that man? Yeah, Donald Reed Cochran, and I think it's another guy that was the governor. He was real good friends with the governor of you on that, Pam? Yeah, am I right? He was
she's in the chat, and actually I just text her the link. Hopefully she can join us, but she's definitely in the chat listening.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Donald Reed Cochran. Okay, that's what she agreed to it, but she want me to tell her story because I know her story because her story changed my life. In other words, you know, it literally changed my life, my perspective about what I was doing and where I was, you know, how I was living fast and in a hurry and ready to just go do something, you know. But when I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she began to pour herself out before us and just be so transparent, and she's so I don't even know what to tell you. Like, she's just a beautiful person. In spite of all the things that was done to her, this man violated her constantly over and over again. He constantly raped her and abused her. It wasn't just one incident. But when she took that glass salt shaker and had it examined with her rape kit, they conveniently lost the evidence. Okay. When it was time to present, how do you know when you go into court, they even told her, don't say he raped you. You know, if you say he raped you, then we're going to drop the whole case. So she couldn't even admit that he raped her. And, you know, that's the only way you can prove somebody raped you. You say, yes, you raping me. You raped me.
That's the language that we're talking about. They're trying to criminalize language,
right?
Because in their mind, Black women are their possession.
Yes.
And they have always been their possession.
Yes.
Since the enslavement of our people. So this is the mindset that we are dealing with. I didn't want to stop you from speaking. I just wanted to point that out.
She old school. That's what she said. I'm old school. I need a telephone. Okay, but yes, let me just pick up where I left off as far as telling her story. And they used that language in court. And she's been fighting. This happened 20 something years ago, back in the 90s, you know. And during that time, you know, it was a good old boy system. This guy was a known good old boy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, that was doing this. He was friends with the governor, what's his name, Drew Edmondson. And Miss Pam she won her case, okay, in the Supreme Court, but they owe her so much money that they said they couldn't handle it. They had to knock it down to the local courts, right, Miss Pam? Yeah, 28 years now she been fighting. So, in a long story short, she won the case, proved it. They tried to pay her off. She always, her story has not changed. That's why I can sit here and say it, because I've heard it before. But she said she was 50 cents short. They offered her $50,000 just to be quiet and shut up, and she refused it because she wants her justice. Okay, so you think about how many other Pamela Smiths are out here in the world who have been raped and abused by their COs, or, you know, overseers, or, you know, whoever is over them. You know, they want to be our overseers anyway. You know, they think they rule this planet. But that's about to be over with shortly. Okay, Black Power. On that note,
few minutes. Let me just go back.
$100,000, she said.
Let me just go back. Yeah, Sister Pam, thank you for feeding us this information. Again, we wish we could have you on here live, but we're gonna make it work. One thing I wanted to point out, something that so our listening audience can have a full understanding. She was incarcerated at a work camp in Tulsa. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then in her incarceration, she was essayed by the corrections officer. Is that correct? Or was he?
No, he was the director of the DMV.
Okay.
Department of Motor Vehicles. She was a cleaning lady.
Okay.
You know, she was
that
just
was her job for the work camp, was to go to the DMV and clean.
She said she liked to tell her story.
You might have to just call her on the phone. Just call her, because she can't do the link stuff.
Is Cochran in jail?
No, he's never done one day in jail. He's still alive somewhere in Texas. That's the last known address we looked up, but we couldn't get nowhere near that man.
So why didn't they incarcerate him if he was found guilty?
No, it wasn't because it wasn't that they found him guilty. They found that the abuse that occurred to her, she won her case. She got a civil rights case.
Oh, civil case. Okay. Civil.
Yeah, she sued the state. Okay, and won. And you know, and trying to go after him after all these years, we tried and tried and tried, you know, but they have went so far with this woman's case that they shut the courthouse down to keep up from filing paperwork. They backdated paperwork from her case.
Hold on, family. I got Sister Pam on the line, so I hope that you guys can hear her. Sister Pam, go ahead, tell your story. Let the audience know what really took place here. And shout out to Sister Nzinga for holding it down.
Good evening. This is Pamela Smith in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
One second, sis. Can y'all hear her? All right, they can hear you clear, sis. Go ahead.
I like to give honor to God, who's been head of my life, and I thank God for ordering my footsteps. And as the songwriter said, He kept me. I like to say good evening to each and every one of you all, your guests this evening. I like to say thank you, Keisha, for this opportunity that you've given me to tell the story, the true story of Miss Pamela Smith, begging for justice in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am a child of God. Through my storms and all the ups and downs and the twists and turns in my life, it's been nobody but God who has kept me. I like to thank my little play daughter there, Miss Janae Cook. I like to thank the Black Panthers. I like to thank the NFAC group. I like to thank the Nation of Islam. I like to thank all the Black press. And I like to thank all the Black podcasts that have told my story. When the white man wouldn't tell the story of Miss Pamela Smith, God sent my brothers and sisters to tell the story. And I'm going to tell the story because I promised God I'd tell the story. And telling this story, I pray to God that it resonates with another Black woman, that you must tell your story, because when you tell your story, you help another Black woman. You help another woman that's in the struggle, that's been raped and abused and tortured and mistreated in the hands of the white man that do not respect Black women. He don't, first of all, respect the Black man, so how can you respect the Black woman? So it's up to us to stand and open our mouths and fight. No matter how bad it is, no matter how degrading it is, it's your story and you must tell it. Again, thank you to all of my family and friends, my beautiful supporters I have around the world. Again, thank you for Sister Empress, Charles, and thank you, young lady, Sister Keisha. And I appreciate this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Pamela Smith. I went to prison. I was guilty as charged. I went to prison for checks and credit cards and stolen property. I used to be on crack cocaine. By the grace of God, I've been clean and sober going on 29 years. I've been out of prison since September the 7th of 2000. I promised God that I would tell this story. I told this story even behind the prison walls because I made a promise to God that if you got to kill me behind the prison walls, you're going to have to kill me. Because what good it do to have a story and you walking in fear when somebody has shoved a glass salt shake up your vagina, have raped and tortured you to say goodbye to a dying sister. I was an inmate. I went to prison for checks and credit cards and stolen property. I entered in prison in 1994. I was on a work release program in November of 1997. I went to lower security. I left Eddie Warriors Correctional Center and went to lower security, trying to go home. That's the next step to going home. When I went to the Department of Public Safety, while I was on this work release program, there was a man by the name of Donald Reed Cochran Sr. He asked to see my breast, and I couldn't imagine that. And the reason why he had asked to see my breast when I went to work at the Department of Public Safety was my brother had came up to the work release program where I was working, which is Department of Public Safety, where you get your driver's license, DMV, whatever y'all called it. Mm-hmm. And so when my brother left, he told me I wasn't supposed to have visitors. The Department of Public Safety and the DMV is a public place. I can't tell who come and go there. But he used that to coerce me, to threaten me, to help me shift out of the program. So I had to lift my breasts up in this back storage room where I kept all my cleaning supplies. I was so hurt. I felt so degraded. But I didn't want to go back to higher security. I had left being behind the fence for checks and credit cards. And let me say this, be real clear, because I want you to get the real picture. I went to prison for checks and credit cards and stolen property. I had a 20-year sentence for checks and credit cards. I was guilty. But 20 years, you guys, but that's how the state of Oklahoma do Black people. So I was sentenced to 20 years for checks and credit cards. So on this work release program that I was at 575 East 36th Street North in the Black part of town where the Department of Public Safety was at. I kept my cleaning supplies back there. So when I got to this program, and my brother came to visit me, and he said I broke the rules by having visitors there. So I showed him my breast. One thing led to another. After I had to show him my breast to keep from getting shipped out the program, I was raped so many times at the Department of Public Safety, I can't even begin to count them. And while I was raped that many times at the Department of Public Safety, I want to give you a clear a picture of this. My cleaning supplies was in this dark storage room where another employees would come back there. When they needed Don Reed Cochran, they'll get to the door and holler his name. And he was the only person besides another friend named Ray Willard that smoked cigarettes with him. And so when Ray Willard was gone on Thursdays and Fridays, I was always raped on a Thursday or Friday. I was raped on my birthday, February the 6th of 1998. I was tortured with the glass salt shaker April the 10th of 1998. My sister died, Elwita. She died April the 12th of 1998 at Hillcrest. A correction to little Janae. It's so overwhelming, this story. My sister was in the hospital. Her daughter and her husband had got killed in a truck accident on the highway. So my sister ended up in the hospital. She had took an overdose of Elavils. That's why she was in the hospital. And so while she was there in the hospital, I asked this driver's examiner, could I go see my sister on April the 10th of 1998 at the Department of Public Safety? He came to me and said, I want to shove a pistol up you. And I said, no, Donna Reed Cochran, please don't do that. That'll hurt me, sir. Please don't. But all I was thinking about was getting to the hospital to see my sister, Alwita. All I wanted to do was stand over my sister and breathe for her. Hear my voice. I just wanted that older sister. You all know what it's like having older sisters and brothers to step in when mom and dad divorced and the older siblings got to help raise the brothers and sisters. Well, that older sister helped raise me. So I felt compelled to get to the hospital to see my sister because I got word the night before at the Department of Public Safety. My sister was in the hospital. And I wanted to go see my older sister. It was 8 of us, and I'm the 7th child. So I wanted to go see my sister. So in order for me to go see my sister, he came to me with a pencil. And I said, no, Donna Reed Cochran, that'll hurt me, please. I couldn't even imagine a pencil going up my vagina. So he went in this storage room where I kept my cleaning supplies. And he found a glass salt shaker. And he came to me. And he said, I want to shove this up you. Now, let me say this to you guys. It's a lot of things, as the psychiatrist told me, I was traumatized. I was also fighting not being raped and tortured with the glass salt shaker, but I got my sister on my mind trying to get to the hospital. So I'm trying to shuffle a dying sister and being tortured to go see the sister. So there was a lot of emotions going through me. So when he shoved this glass salt shaker up me, it cut me. It hurt me. And when it did that, I had to go to the bathrooms. I'm sorry to you viewers, but you know what? You got to tell these kind of stories because these are kind of stories that Black women have suffered many. I pray to God there's not another Black woman in the world that ever been tortured with a glass salt shaker or even just been tortured, period. I know, as a matter of fact, this is the only case law you can find in the United States that a Black woman in Tulsa, Oklahoma was raped and tortured with a glass salt shaker. I even went to the FBI. I will come back on message. When I went to the FBI to talk to them, he told me and the brother with the Nation of Islam, Minister Jamal Ali, went with me, and I'll get to that date in a minute. He told me this is the worst rape case he had ever seen. But did he help me? No, he couldn't help me because he was in bed with these state brothers, white boys, friends of theirs. They go play golf together. They go to church together. Wives go to the same beauty parlor. Their kids go to the same private schools. So how you going to get help? So the FBI fell in bed, and I say it. Let me tell y'all something about Miss Pamela Smith. You raped me with a glass salt shaker. Do you think I fear death? What else could you do to me to torture me with a glass salt shaker, shove my vagina, say goodbye to a dying sister? And you think I give a damn about these FBIs and these boys down here in Tulsa, Oklahoma that can mistreat a Black woman with a glass salt shaker? And you take the glass salt shaker and you go destroy the glass salt shaker? Once I identified the glass salt shaker to the lieutenant that went to the property room and found the glass salt shaker, when I identified the glass salt shaker, the lieutenant of Oklahoma Highway Patrol that investigated the case took the glass salt shaker brought it to me to identify it, and he took it to the district attorney's office for criminal charges. And when the district attorney got the glass salt shaker, oh, holy potato, guess what they did with it? They destroyed it. You know why they destroyed it? It had DNA all over it. So if we destroy the glass salt shaker, then she can't substantiate her claim. But the good Lord above left an intake sheet that said glass salt shaker shoved up victim's vagina, shown to victim by OHP Lieutenant George Randolph. They destroyed the glass salt shaker, but the good Lord, let me show you what kind of God I serve. I serve a merciful God. I serve a good God.
I know that's right.
I had the evidence given to me by law enforcement. I had no clue what it was. All along, I had the evidence when they was out calling me a liar, calling me a Jezebel. She's making this up for money. But not to mention they offered me $100,000 to take the money and go away. But I had promised God, I'm not taking no money. Y'all gonna pay for this wrong you did. Somebody gonna be held accountable for this type of wrong. You're not gonna do this to me. I was just raised a little bit different. My mother always told me, when you right, you stand up. You fight, daughter. And I never thought in life that I would be at that junction in my life fighting for justice for myself and many other women around the world. So now when Donna Reed Coffin shoved that glass salt shake up me, and I want to say goodbye to El Weeder. I went to the bathroom.
Take your time, sis. Take your time. Take your time, sis.
Calm down, mama. Calm down. Because you're going to get yourself upset. That's why she didn't want to come on. She get upset. Okay. Calm down.
How many times I tell this story, it's the same thing. It's the same hurt.
It's the same story.
And then to think about how these white boys did me. Now, the governor, the district attorney, the attorney general, the law enforcement blocked me from my justice because they knew I had truth. You can offer me money to be quiet, to sell it. And I told them, no, you have to kill me. I'm not going to be quiet. And when you kill me, my story's in the books of records all around the world. So you did accomplish something by shutting me up. You can't shut me up. You're not going to rape me with a glass salt shaker, because I hope my voice resonates to help other women around the world to speak up, especially my sister. My sister's got to quit walking around knowing they've been raped and abused and they shame because they think the man that'll find out they've been raped won't want them. If you with a man that don't understand somebody violated you and took something from you without your permission, you with the wrong man. My husband told me, you fight to the bitter end of you. He was a military man. He would go with me to court to fight these people. So after Donna Reed Coffin raped me with the glass salt shaker, I ran in the bathroom to pad my panties. I was bleeding. So my friend took me to the hospital. I got to see my sister. I stood over my sister. My sister died April the 12th of 1998. She died. So after I got back to the Department of Public Safety, I was just tore up after my sister had died that Sunday. She died that Sunday, but I was raped that Friday. I was always raped on a Thursday or Friday. I'm not going to say I wasn't raped on other days, but the reason why I was always raped and tortured on Thursday or Friday, because the other guy that smoked the cigarettes in the back with him was gone to another place to do CDLs. His name was Ray Willard. See, I tell my story. My grandpa said, if you can't call no names, they didn't tell the story. I don't hide nothing, baby. If our black people quit hiding about got a story and scared to call the name, you ain't got no story. It ain't your story. It's somebody else's story. You just fill it in. Tell a real story and call their names. So after I did that, I said, Lord have mercy. I got shipped out the program and went back to Eddie Warriors. When I got to Eddie Warriors, was a case manager down there. Her name was Carmela Clancy. Everything I tell y'all today is in my book called Begging for Justice, the true story of Miss Pamela Smith. I tell the truth. I don't have no reason to tell nothing else. State officials knew I was telling the truth. They had the DNA. They had everything. But what they didn't want to do was let this black woman bring down the establishment of the state officials in the state of Oklahoma. See, they went off and left over 7,285 untested rape kits sitting on the shelf. And 80% of those DNAs they left sitting on the shelf untested, guess who they look like? They look like Miss Pamela Smith, a black woman. Guess who was raping? Guess who was raping and abusing them? White men, like our governor, our district attorney. So you let their DNA sit on the shelf, you let their statutes of limitations run, you deny them justice. Because you don't want to lock up your white friends with these powerful positions that was abusing black women. So here comes Pamela Smith. I'm going to fight to the death of me, baby. You believe that. I'm going to fight. I've been fighting for 28 years. And I don't let nobody tarnish my truth, change me, and take off my game. When they offered me $100,000 to take the money to the state of Oklahoma, Sister Keisha, I was 50 cents broke to my name. But I remembered the promise I told God. I'm going to tell this story if you stand with me, God. And for 28 years, I've been telling this story. State officials have destroyed the evidence. They destroyed the prison records. They destroyed the medical records. They destroyed the polygraphs that I did. And I kept fighting. So the Oklahoma Attorney General named Drew Emerson, a dirty, rotten, no good, racist Attorney General that black people were scared of him. He feared black people. One night I went to a meeting. What a prayer meeting. But I bet that when I got through with that Attorney General, he probably thought wished he was at a prayer meeting. I walked up to him and I said to him, my name is Pamela Smith. Why you didn't help me? He said it wasn't no glass salt shaker and you wasn't raped. You came to my office and asked me for money. Then you see these white folks will say anything and lie on a black woman. You got that white woman named E. Jean Carroll that took down the president. She don't know when she was raped, don't know how she was raped. She just said she was raped. She told some friends.
Come on,
here's Pamela Smith, a black woman, raped with a glass salt shaker, hated the glass salt shaker, but state officials went and destroyed it. That's the most tangible piece of evidence. And here's this white woman that took down the president on a word. But here's a black woman with DNA. Know who raped her. Know what time of the day she was raped. Know who raped her. But she can't get justice. Oh, she don't take that money. Let's just beat her up when she go to court. Let's tell her she can't use the word rape. First Amendment violated. And let's tell her all-white jury to look at her and then look at him and see who's lying. In other words, let's play the race card on this black woman. You tell all-white jury look at a black woman and then look at the white man and see who's lying. Not hear who's lying, see who's lying. In other words, look at my skin color. A black woman gonna be lying over this white man in uniform and he got an impeccable record. These impeccable white boys that got these good old boy names and uniforms and guns and positions, those are the ones raping the women. Because nobody don't suspect them. Them the ones that uses their position to be shielded by the establishment in these states, especially in the state of Oklahoma. So when the state wouldn't help me, I have fought. I have taken lawyers' money. They called me back after they hear my story. Oh, Miss Smith, we can't help you. They blackballed me from lawyers helping me. This is not a civil rights case. This is not only a civil rights case. This is a human rights case as well. You don't rape women with glass salt shakers. You don't torture. And these people, I know who raped and tortured me with a glass salt shaker. His name was Donald Reed Cochran, left Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's hiding out in Houston, Texas. He think leaving Tulsa was going to stop him. It ain't stopped me. I know where you at. See, you can run, but you can't hide, dog. You can ride, you can do what you want to do, but God know your number. And my boys know your number, okay? Ain't nobody sleep. Ain't nobody stupid. See, it's up to us to keep fighting. And when we stand and we fight, we can't expect everybody to fight our battles when you don't stand up and fight. There ain't no way I can sit on this and be quiet, to be raped with a glass salt shaker, to pay a dear price to say goodbye to my sister. I have been at the Supreme Court twice. I went to the Supreme Court February the 25th, when I say my documents went to the United States Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., February the 25th of 2021. And you think them folks up at the Supreme Court want to hear this? All these courts, don't nobody black and nobody white misunderstand me. These courts are all in bed with each other. They just as corrupt as they can be. You can filter down from the Supreme Court to the circuit courts, to the district courts, to the federal courts. They all got friends and people in these courts to block black people's justice. If you think the Supreme Court, now let me ask you this question. I'm a woman have to go to the Supreme Court 2 times and still can't get heard. You didn't hear me in 2009 and I'm still fighting. And I went back in 2021 with the same truth, but new evidence, new discovered evidence was discovered in October of 2018, the glass salt shaker intake sheet. And when you find and discover new evidence, you file a petition to the court. Do you think they heard me? Do you think they listen to me? What they've been doing to Pamela Smith on this rape case is deny her justice, let the statute of limitations run, do everything y'all can. Just eat up the clock. Everything you could do to stop Miss Pamela Smith, because this woman ain't going nowhere. So what we got to do, we got to use the statute of limitations. I went to the FBI in October of 2018 with Minister Jamal Ali. I took the intake sheet to prove that it was the glass salt shaker. That the state official been lying and saying it wasn't. And the former Oklahoma Attorney General named Drew Emerson, he told all these state agencies, whatever y'all do, block her, stop her, don't substantiate anything she said. So I go to the FBI in 2018 with the new discovered evidence. It wasn't new to me. I knew I was raped. I knew I was raped with a glass salt shaker. How in the world could a woman not know she was raped with a glass salt shaker? Only thing it was deflect, deny, and block and stop her justice. When I go see the FBI October of 2018 with Minister Jamal Ali with the Nation of Islam, I thank God for those brothers. You can say what you want to say. They have stood by their sister. You can say what you want to say. The them brothers have been real and they sister and the NFAC, the Black Panthers, all these groups have been standing with Queen Mother. They've been trying to give these white boys a chance to fix this stuff. How much more time do we give you? Y'all time has expired, dogs. Y'all need to know that y'all time is up. This woman has held the fuck down for many women and has stood on it, all 10 toes, standing up in it. I'm going to fight this thing because you're not going to tell me you can rape me with a glass salt shaker and you can send a message to other Black women if we rape and torture Pamela Smith with a glass salt shaker and we can get the state official from the Oklahoma City to the Tulsa County. We're going to get all law enforcement. We're going to get the FBI. We're going to get us all on bed. And we all going to sing the same song. Now, they used to say it wasn't a glass salt shaker. Now they say a statute of limitations ran. Now they don't say the statute of limitations. Guess what they say? Nothing. They can't come back that glass salt shaker evidence intake sheet because black and white don't lie. But black and white don't work for Black folks. Black and white works for Phile. But when it comes to us, black and white's not important.
Right.
So when I went to see the FBI, I took the intake sheet of a glass salt shaker. And I walked in there, me and Minister Jamal Ali, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can't tell y'all how many times I've been to the FBI begging them to help me when I couldn't get the state to help me. I thought the boys in the FBI was a cut above. But no, they all in bed with their friends in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City. And let me say this, y'all, I'm going to come back to that. If you mean to tell me in 1921, a white woman lied and said that a black man raped her, and they tore up this whole city in 1921. But here's a black woman telling the truth that she was raped and tortured and abused with a glass salt shaker, and they had the evidence, they as law enforcement, and you go destroy it. You destroy the prison files, you destroy her medical record, you destroy the affidavit, you destroy the body cam, you destroy everything. You ain't go out and call her a lie, so she ain't got nothing to substantiate her truth. But God left this intake sheet. So anyway, we go see the FBI. October 2018, right here in Tulsa. This is one of many visits. I'm running down there to them. See, they can't come knock on Miss Pam's door. You know why? I knock on their doors. Now, if a woman wasn't raped and abused, who go to the FBI if they ain't telling the truth?
Come on.
Who's crazy enough to go down there and tell some lies to the FBI? You see what they doing to Donald Trump?
Come on.
I ain't gonna accept it. So like I say, they don't knock on my door. I knock their doors down. Hey, my name is Pamela Smith. I want some help. I want some justice. And I'm coming to you, boy. We take the intake sheet down there. And you know what he said to me, Sister Keisha? He said, Miss Smith, can I ask you 2 questions? I said, you sure can, sir. That's one thing I like for them white boys to do is ask me questions, because every question you got, I got the answer for you. I got the answer for you. And it's truth, baby. I stand on truth and facts. He said, I want to ask you 2 questions. He said, Miss Smith, how did you get this evidence? I was glad to tell him. Law enforcement gave it to me. Law enforcement gave it to me. Why your boys and y'all over here playing dumb? I go see y'all in 2004. I come down here to see you boys in 2004, and y'all told me it wasn't a clear violation. I had no evidence. So here I come back down here again in 2018 with evidence. And all you want to ask me next, Miss Smith, how did you get this evidence? I said law enforcement gave it to me. Another district attorney that came out the district attorney's office and destroyed the glass salt shaker under the orders of Drew Emerson. So that's why I got it. You think I wasn't glad to tell another FBI that one of their own gave me the evidence? One of your own gave it to me. Then he said, I want to ask you another question, Miss Smith. Miss Smith, what's driven you? I said, my faith in justice. My faith in my, because the reason why he asked that question, because they couldn't understand how a black woman could fight this long. They expect the black people to give up, because most of us do give up. Some people can't last 28 years. Some people give up in 28 seconds. Somebody give up in 28 days. But that ain't what God told me to do. God told me to stand. If you can't do nothing else, God said stand. And I'm standing on it. And so after he did that, he called me back 3 months later. After he done heard my story, I done broke bread, gave him the evidence. Miss Smith, he called me on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to prepare for the Panthers was coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
And they was coming in March.
Mm-hmm.
And so he calls me on the phone and he said, Miss Smith, this is FBI agent Tim Favor.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Miss Smith, he said, I'm going to have to recuse myself off this case. And I said, oh, really? Why? Well, I know Drew Evans and Tim Hurst. Now, in 2004, when down there, y'all said it wasn't a clear violation, and you said it wasn't no evidence. Now, in 2018, you ain't telling me no clear violation because I got the evidence right here in front of you. But now you telling me 3 months later, I'm down there in October, November, December, January, you telling me that you have to recuse yourself because you know Drew Evans and Tim Hurst. But my question to the FBI, and I hope they listening, because when I do my podcast, I'm talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm talking to the FBI and law enforcement. Y'all should be ashamed of y'allself that y'all let the state officials embarrass y'all and shame y'all's agency. Y'all supposed to be bigger than the state. I thought that the FBI didn't give a damn you was black, green, purple, head money. They don't come, they come for you. But these boys down here got embarrassed with each other. And so when he called and told me he had to recuse himself because he knew Drew Emerson and Tim Hurst. Drew Emerson was the former Oklahoma Attorney General, the Democrat. Don't y'all get twisted with these political parties. Don't y'all get me started with these parties.
Come on, sis.
I said it loud and clear. The Democrats don't do nothing but use black folks.
Come on.
They ain't getting them but pimped up. Grandma and grandpa is dead. It's a new era.
Come on.
Y'all better quit letting these Democratic people. That's why your folks can't eat today. That's why you can't find no job today. You can't find no food for your children. These Democratic people, I don't give a darn if they are close. They do not have our best interests at heart. Because they did, we wouldn't be in the shape we in today.
Come on.
They don't silence me. See, you don't tell me how to vote because y'all approve being a Democrat don't pay off. I'm sorry. I'm not no Republican. I was born a Democrat.
Come
on.
I
can watch the Democratic Party use us, pimp us, abuse us, take us and misuse us. And then they want to go pick somebody to look like us to come out here and tell us how to vote. Go sit Hooker. They want to sit Al Sharpton. They want to sit President Obama. They want to sit all these people out here to look like us. Now, who they need to send out there to tell us who to vote for, they need to send the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan out there and let him tell us who to vote for. And then we'll listen. Mm-hmm. Because he ain't got no reason to play no games. Mm-hmm. He ain't got nothing but to tell us the truth. Mm-hmm. But the white man don't want us to listen to him because he speaks truth to his people. Now, I'm not telling nobody how to vote, but I'm simply telling you, I am done with the Democratic Party. They are pitiful. They have used us, they have abused us, and they lie on us, they promise us stuff, and we already know where the Republican Party stands. We ain't nobody's fool. We already know where they stand. But we expect our party to treat black people right. I never forget in my heart when I first seen black people on TV, and that's been in the 60s. They said, oh, the Democratic Party did that. The Democratic Party been pimping and putting us on TV, painting us to tell what they want us to say. But you know what? Until we learn to start standing up for ourselves and quit letting people define us as black people the way they want us to be and start standing up for who you are and having your own opinion. Don't be afraid to speak what's in your heart. If you're afraid to speak it and don't stand on it, that don't tell me what kind of man you are. You're a spineless person, don't have a backbone, and you stand up and speak what's in your heart. And I want to continue to say that I fight for justice for women around the world. I don't care what color you are. If you raped and abused and sexually assaulted, I am Pamela Smith. I wrote the book begging for justice because I couldn't get the state officials to help me. They blocked the lawyers from helping me. They did everything. And one day, somebody sent me a text. And they said, Miss Pam, you need to call them Black Panthers. And I called the Black Panthers, and Sheikh Ahmed Akbar answered the phone. And he answered my call. And let me say this to this. I'll be real clear. Y'all know the race story. You don't know the race story. Y'all got the gist of it. I've been fighting these crooks and these frogs and these snakes and these dogs down here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I don't walk in fear. But I want to say this to you. Sheikh Ahmed Akbar, he answered my call. I believe they'd have been down to 4 or 5 times, said by Queen Mother. These some real devils. And let me say this to you. You can talk that talk, but if you don't put in the work, what good it do to talk about it? Shake out man aboard and came down here so many times to see about Queen Mother. But I want to say this. I'm sending a shout out to the NFAC. I'm sending these boys that's coming to see about Queen Mother. And I thank God for Janae. These people have stood by me because these some rotten, vicious, evil white men down here. Anytime you could put a glass salt shake up a woman's vagina, and the state officials and the FBI know the truth. But I was supposed to take that money, give up, and go away. Sister Keisha, I'm not going to tell you nothing wrong, and nobody else. I was broke to my name. They offered me, started out at 30,000, 60,000, 90,000, got to 100,000. And my answer was still no. I'm going to court to tell the story. I got to tell this story. Well, let me tell you this. It was $5 million at the Northern District. It was $5 million in the Western District. And it was $8.3 billion up in New York in the Southern District. Now, if I'd never seen a dime of this money, I don't care. I want my justice. I want people to be held accountable for what they did. Why isn't a white woman go lie on a black man, say he looked at her and winked at her, and you got the prisons filled up with black men for rape? But here's a black woman. And the reason why is that, Sister Keisha, because the mindset of the white man, they have raped us for over 400 years. They have taken our bodies and abused us. So they don't believe we can be raped. So when so many black sisters be raped, they sit on it. So that's why the white men get by with it. So when they got a sister like Pamela Smith rising up and standing up against them, they can't understand that. You heard the FBI ask me, what's driven you? Because they expect black women to give up or give us some money and we go sit down. I was broke. I was broke to my name. I hadn't been out of prison long. And these people offered me $100,000. And I told them no. I don't want it. That's from the state of Oklahoma to the lawyer at that time. I have fought. And let me tell you this. Donald Reed Cochran has never got criminal charges put on him. He was denied qualified immunity August the 12th of 2003. I want to say this to each and every one of you all. I fought so hard that I changed policy and procedure on this case. I won on the 4th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 8th Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. I changed the way the state of Oklahoma did business on inmates in the prison in the state of Oklahoma. But listen to this. How can a woman named Pamela Smith go to Denver, Colorado at the 10th Circuit Court of Appeal and she wins her case in Denver? It gets shipped down the lower court for me to go to court. I haven't had lawyers. Now, I told Janae this the other day. I haven't had lawyers to come to me and say, Miss Pam, I filed your case from the 10th Circuit Court of Appeal, and I won $1 million. Everybody else is winning off Miss Pam's case, cite my case, that I won at the 10th Circuit Court of Appeal on the constitutional law. I'm in the constitutional law book, the constitutional law that President Obama taught, constitutional law. Everybody's winning on my case, but Pam Smith. Now, what does that tell y'all? These boys down here stacked to death, wanted me to go away, wanted me to give up, but I couldn't do it. I'm still fighting. I'm still standing. And I won't get my justice.
I know that's right, sis.
Get this thing together. The Attorney General and the new elected Attorney General, his name is Jentner Drummond. We have wrote him letters asking him to reopen up this case. We called for him to reopen up this case. And everybody around the world has been calling his office, 405-521-3921, asking him to reopen up the Pamela Smith case. There's no reason this case should not be reopened, and there's no reason Donald Reed Cochran should not be in prison, and there's no reason that these state officials should not be held accountable for the wrong and the prosecutor misconduct they have did on this case. They purposely did. They know, everybody around the world know the truth. Everybody know the truth now. I was supposed to quit. I was supposed to give up. I was supposed to go away. You dog me, you throw away the glass salt shaker, you start and then you go out and call me a Jezebel, tell my people in my community I'm lying. Do y'all know what it's like to have to fight 28 years standing on truth against lying? But one thing I always remember, my grandmother always taught me, cream rises to the top.
I know that's right. I know that's right, sis. We got some comments, and I'm sure my panelists got some questions before we get you up out of here, because that was a lot. We got to let our people process this. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get the crew back in here. Let me pull out, because I put up a photograph of you so that they can at least see what you look like. Let's get to the panel and let's get some questions in here. Sister Marcia, any questions or what are your thoughts about what you've heard, what happened to Sister Pamela Smith?
Well, Sister Pamela Smith, first, let me give you all the accolades and strength that I have in my heart for you. I'm going to give you a round of applause because it takes so much courage and so much strength to do what you're doing and to stand 10 toes down in it and not fall for the trinkets of glory that they have been dangling in front of you. To stand on truth means a lot. And, you know, I often say that our community doesn't have standards and codes and ethics, but you, my dear mother, have shown me some standards and ethics that you stand on. And I hope that many more sisters understand this struggle. I could not fathom something like that happening to me. And I could not fathom it happening to someone that I know that I would not support. So anything that I can do to assist, even if it's making a phone call, writing a letter, whatever I can do from New York, I shall do, because this is senseless. And if you're telling this story out loud, there are a million other sisters that have this story that are afraid to speak their truth. And you, if they hear your story, they will find strength to say, I can tell my story too without being afraid. I really have nothing but grace to give to you. I have no questions right now. I need to fully fill my heart up because this was a lot and I couldn't imagine.
Brother Tad, any comments or questions? Let me get Brother Black back in here.
First, I want to say thank you, Sister Pam. I'm sorry this happened to you. Truly sorry. As a father of Black girls, as a brother to Black sisters, as a son to a Black mother, as a grandson to Black grandmothers, I'm sorry this happened to you. I thank you for having the strength and the wherewithal to push through and let this story be heard, let it be known, because for some unfortunate reason, our folks think that incidents like this are a thing of the past and they're not going on today, because unfortunately, the media has conditioned some folks to give themselves up voluntarily. And I'm glad you're from a generation that knows our history, knows the story and struggle of our people, and know what's at stake. So again, I thank you, I thank you, and I thank you.
Thank you, Brother Tad. Brother Black.
I'm like really like I don't know what to say, and y'all know I usually have a mouthful. I'm just like, wow. Thank you, sister, for your strength.
I want to say thank you, and I want to say to all my brothers and sisters around the world, I love y'all for your encouragement, and it's been a journey. And I know God didn't bring me this far to leave me, and so I fight every day. I don't miss a day fighting, and it's because of my brothers and sisters. And you said a mouthful about the media. If it wasn't for Black press telling my story, sisters like the Keisha and the Final Call and the Washington Informer and Janae and podcasts like Sister Empress and Sister Keisha and Black people telling the story. I thank God for my people because it's gonna take us. We thought that when George Floyd got killed, that it was gonna take them to change it. No, we got to quit waiting on them to change something. We got to change stuff for us. Until we do that, we think we got to wait on the white man to make a difference. We thought that people would say, oh, George Floyd died, and they got to feel us. They felt us during the moment, but they went back to their same old dirty, low-down tricks.
That's right.
A left spot's going to change. And so What you said, brother, it means everything in the world to me. Thank you. I know it's a lot for you guys to process. I say this to each and every one of your listeners and every listener around the world. It is so much to what I suffered. But all that I suffered, it don't mean anything to God because God has got this thing. See, this is a spiritual thing now. See, it's a spiritual thing. People got to understand. God got to fix this. Because, see, man had every opportunity to get it right. But God will push them all out of the way. Because when God do this, he make no mistakes. See, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And see, the battle's not mine. I know who my God is, and I know he's going to fix this because God only used me as a vessel to be able to stand and speak for those little young girls, to tell a story like this. Every mother and father need to tell their daughters this story about Pamela Smith. So their daughters and their sons, even young guys and men get raped in prison and abused. So you go to prison to be corrected. But people in prison are abused, mistreated, and they come out viciously angry because of all injustice they suffer behind the prison walls. So the story of Miss Pamela Smith must continue to be told to our young daughters that these things happen in life. We just set up and make our daughters think that that the white man is above the law, and they go through their thinking that and trusting them, and them be the very people that violate our daughters and harm our children. So to all my brothers and sisters, thank y'all. Being raped with that glass off shaker, let me tell y'all something. Oh my God. All I can say, Donna Reed Cochran gonna pay. Drew Evans gonna pay. Kim Harris gonna pay. Lieutenant George Randolph gonna pay. State officials gonna pay. See, they had a chance to keep lying to the man. The FBI and the Supreme Court, the 10th Circuit Court. But one thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna get nothing past God.
I know that's right.
You ain't gonna get nothing past God. What y'all think y'all did to Miss Pam 28 years? Y'all already done it to yourself. What goes around, come around. If it go up, it gonna come down. And for 1 minute, these men got any peace. See, I'm sitting there telling y'all story. Yeah, a part of me hurts from telling this story to be raped and tortured with a glass salt shaker to say goodbye to my older sister. But it's one thing I know. At the end of the day, God got this thing. I feel good. Yeah, I hurt. It hurt to be cut and raped and tortured with a glass salt shaker. He didn't put a glass salt shaker on my vagina. He shoved a glass salt shaker on my vagina. Put me in place. He shoved. And the lieutenant of Oklahoma Highway Patrol, when he brought the glass salt shaker, once he retrieved it and found it in the property room at the Department of Public Safety in the storage room, when he brought it to me to identify, he asked me a question. He said, Miss Smith, can I ask you? So here they go with these questions. This is Lieutenant of Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Miss Smith, can I ask you a question? Yes, you can, sir. After he brought the glass salt shaker for me to identify that the state officials, after he took it to the district attorney's office, they destroyed it. Somebody forgot to tell them this woman identified the glass salt shaker. It goes to tell me that the right hand was telling the left hand what they was doing. Because if they knew I identified the glass salt shaker, I don't think they were stupid enough to go destroy it.
Right.
I see. Or they was just foolish enough to say, who gonna believe this black woman over us? That's what they were saying.
Right.
So when that glass salt shaker went down there to the district attorney's office, for me, I identified it. I identified that glass salt shaker. Then it goes to the district attorney's office. And none of these white boys had, at that time, wanted to stand up and take ownership. The news people called Lieutenant George Randolph on the phone and said, Lieutenant George Randolph, Fox 23. She said, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember Pamela Smith? He said, oh, yes, I remember Pamela Smith. Well, let me ask you, do you remember the glass? Oh, no, I don't remember the glass salt shaker. Now, the lieutenant of Oklahoma Highway Patrol not going to remember the glass salt shaker when the glass salt shaker traveled all around the state of Oklahoma in his tweed coat pocket when he picked it up at the Department of Public Safety. He took it to go get tested for DNA. Then he took it to show it to some more law enforcement. Then he brought it to me. But you can't remember the glass salt shaker. If you remember Pamela Smith, y'all remember the glass salt shaker. Those two go together. But that's the white boys for you. How they'll lie. How they'll discredit. How they'll attack a black woman's character.
That's right. And we know it well here because we've been fighting similar cases here in the state of New York. But Sister Pam, we thank you for coming in. We definitely appreciate hearing your story. And again, anything that we can do on Thorough Black Talk Worldview, we got your back. And of course, this is something that is heavy, but as you said, God got you, and it's going to be all right. And for all of these women who have had similar faith, you got to tell your story. You got to keep going forward. You cannot be afraid. You cannot be deterred. So, one of the comments was, we hear the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer in this sister. 100. And kudos to the the original Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam and all those who stood with you. We thank you, and we appreciate you.
Yes, and I thank you too, sister. And a shout out to the NFAC as well, because those boys is on their way to see about Queen Mother.
That's right. That's right, sister.
Sister Keisha, can you ask the sister if she has any contact information for anybody who may want to donate to any fund she may have or something?
Yeah, she can hear you.
My cash app is $ E as in Easter, H as in Harry, 814. And my book, Begging for Justice, is on Amazon.com, and it's on Kindle. And my mailing address is P.O. Box 470-261, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74147. My telephone number is, I don't man, I don't hide, I don't run. I face the devil head on. I love fighting the devil because I always win. My phone number is 918-282-7057. I will be speaking in Washington, D.C. at the international conference for my daughter, Janae Cook, that's doing a fine job. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to meet a lot of my brothers and sisters there. I've been to Washington 5 times. And every time I go, this will be my 5th trip there. And I've been to the Supreme Court. I don't quit. I don't stop. I don't give up. It ain't in me to quit. Mm-hmm. So, again, if anybody wish to send Queen Mother something, it's fine. I've been fighting for 28 years, and I never asked people for money.
Sister Janae, can you put that Cash App information in our chat or text it to me? And I'll make our listening audience get it.
Yeah, I can get it for you. Give me 1 second. Okay.
I'm holding the phone, so I can't type it in. Or Sister Marcia, if you can write it down and put it in the chat.
I got it, sis. I'll send it to you.
All right, the team got it.
All right. Well, anytime y'all need me to come and speak on your platform and tell my story to encourage my sisters, let me tell y'all something. I'm 70 years of age, but I feel like I'm 15.
I know that's right.
God's been good to me. God been good to me. And I say this. I'm looking forward to coming to Washington and working with the human rights, anybody I can work with. I want to help my sisters because I want the world to know my sisters are hurting, y'all. My sisters are hurting, and I'm just one voice. But if I can lift my voice and it can help one sister, my work is not in vain. Mm-hmm. I want my sisters to be strong in their battle. Pull the strength from your bootstraps and stand up and fight. That's why the white man win. We give in and we sell it for money. We take money, and then what did it do? Do y'all know if I took that $100,000 in 2003, I wouldn't be on your show tonight, Keisha?
I know that's right.
See, money don't fix everything. Money don't fix everything. I want what's due to me. I want it to come just like E. Jean Carroll. E. Jean Carroll's a white woman when he said the president raped her and did all these things. And I have problems with all that story. But then it's a white woman. A white woman can tell a lie, and her truth is hers. But a black woman tell the truth, we got to be lying. We got to be always wanting some money. If I wanted money, I took that $100,000 when I was broke. I was 50 cents broke to my name. I just walked out of prison. And I told them people, no, the white folks look at me like I was crazy. Do you hear me, Keisha?
Yes. Well, sister, We definitely got the Cash App up, and we got the link to the book. It's in our chat right now. Again, we thank you for coming on. We wish we had more time. We got Dr. Phile coming in here. So we got to have you back again. So when it's convenient, and I'll reach out to Sister Janae for you to come back on. We definitely got to have you back on again, sis. So we definitely appreciate you.
Y'all follow me this weekend because I'm going to be speaking on Janae's platform in Washington, D.C. So y'all just follow her with her event this weekend and come out and support Janae. Come out and support the sister. She's doing a fine job in Washington, D.C. I'm traveling all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Washington,
I'm supposed to meet up with her. I told her I'll be down there in August. So I'll meet up with her later on in the summer for sure.
I'll be in Washington, D.C. for the Women's March. I'm helping put some buses together from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm coming to do this thing. Our sisters got to come together. We got to do better than what we're doing. We got to quit. I would say this, sister, I'm going to get off the phone. Sisters, if you listen to Pamela Smith in Tulsa, Oklahoma, quit being mad at your sister over something ain't nothing. Quit being mad at your sister over a man that don't want neither one of y'all.
I know that's right.
Stop being mad at your sister because her weed look better than yours. Y'all get mad about the wrong things. Well, you need to be down here fighting for Pamela Smith to change the way Black women are mistreated in the world. Y'all want to fight over some of the smallest things instead of coming together. You worry about the wrong things in life, sisters. Stand up and be your sister's keeper. Stand up and be her strength when she's weak.
We definitely gonna be down there in October in DC. Trust me on that. We definitely gonna be there. Me and a whole bunch of other sisters that'll be down there this October. Sister Marcia will be with us as well. So again, family, thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, Sister Marcia. Thank all of y'all for being on here. Thank the brothers. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Like I said, if it wasn't for Black Press, this story would never be told. This is a story that needs to be told.
Yes, ma'am.
This needs to be told.
Yes,
but the white don't, because you know why? They don't want to take ownership. That's why you can't get justice. Until these white people take ownership, you'll never get justice. They wrong us.
That's right, sis.
Oklahoma can't get ownership on the race ride because the white man ain't took ownership of what they did to these Black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hello?
Anytime you need me, just contact Janae, okay, baby?
Yes, ma'am.
And phone number, you keep my phone number locked in, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
I gave out another number on the air, but this is my personal number you calling me on.
Right.
All right, baby. I love y'all and thank y'all so much. And God be with all of y'all, okay?
We love you, Black.
We love you too.
Love you, Mama. Good night.
Good night.
See you soon.
See you tomorrow, daughter.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot, family. That was a lot.
Yes.
I when I first heard the story on Empress Phile, shout out to New Day Liberation. When I first heard the story, I was in an area where I couldn't talk to Dr. Phile because normally I reach out to her while she's on air and text her information, but I was just so overwhelmed by hearing that. So when the show was over, I said, we got to get this lady on Thorough Black Talk because the people got to hear about what's happening. So Dr. Phile is coming in. We're going to probably run overtime tonight because we got to get Dr. Phile in here. We got a lot to discuss. This is very, very important. The anniversary of MWM. So many things are happening. Moves are being made, and we will definitely be in that number. So without further ado, Sister Janae, you going to hang out with us or you going to rock out? Or you gonna
I'm going to hang out with y'all for a little while.
All right. She rocking out. She rocking out. Right. That's what we'll talk about.
Can I ask Sister Janae a question?
Yeah, I'm here.
You was fitting to get in on some information that I have interest in. You was talking about how pretty soon these palm-colored folks ain't gonna be able to do the things they've been doing to us. Can you get into what you were saying or implying when you said that?
Yeah, but that rabbit hole is so deep. I don't think we got enough time tonight.
Yeah, because we got to get Dr.
We got to get in Dr. Phile on here.
Get her in here, Black.
I thought you was waiting for her.
Dr. Phile,
My bad. I didn't know she was here.
Hold on. Thank you for being with us. Sorry for the delay. You got to turn your camera. You're looking sideways. So turn your phone on. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's better. So right now, family, you have the founder of the Million Woman March. She's going to come in and give us some information. They were here, I believe, last week or the week before at the United Nations, making some things happen. So, we got to let people tell their story. We don't tell the story. We let people tell their story. So, Dr. Phile, welcome again to Thorough Black Talk Worldview. And for those who don't know, we started out as Thorough Black Talk, but she said, now you got to add worldview on it because y'all covering everything. So I said, all right. The big sister said, I got to put worldview. That's how we came up with it. So we tell the truth over here. Dr. Phile, welcome to our broadcast. You got to unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic, Mom.
Hold on.
Letting me on.
Hold on. There you go. There you go. You good.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Good thanks.
Peace, Dr. Phile.
Hey, Brother Ted. Thorough Black Talk family, y'all brought it tonight as usual. I'm telling you. Again, when I heard Sister Pamela's story, and give thanks to Sister Janae. I mean, ever since we've hooked up, we've just been moving this thing right along. And she connected me, of course, with Sister Pamela. And again, to make sure that her story and others are now going to be brought forward the way that it should. Because we all know 400 plus years this has been going on. But what we have not been able to do is to be well organized. But now that's what we're going to do. And I think that's also what Sister Janae, also, as you said, Sister Keisha, as quiet as it's kept, Sister Janae is going to be, I won't say crowned, but she's going to be adorned with the title of Nzinga when she goes to Angola later on this year, and I believe in July. She's literally going to be given the title in representation of the great Queen Nzinga. So I'll have her to tell you about that at another time. Yeah. But so she's earned her warriorship in the work that she's been doing over the years. But again, going back to Sister Pamela, as we know, our women have been, the atrocities, our men too, of course, but it's time that the mother of civilization is brought forward. We talk about what is going to happen to shift the paradigm. What is going to happen to make things change? Well, we say a part of that has got to be raising up the mother of civilization. And what other than something like the Million Woman March to do that? The Million Woman March, as quiet as it kept, is in fact the largest gathering in the world of any women anywhere ever. So it is not only Black history, it's not only women's history, it's world history. And again, going back to what Sister Janae said, there's something getting ready to happen metaphysically, or rather it is happening metaphysically. When we went up to the UN on March the 19th, which happened to be, of course, an equinox, a spring equinox, we stood in front of the building known as the United Nations Church Center. The address was, or is, 777 United Nations Plaza. Now, this might not mean anything to anyone, but for us, it represented a lot. And so on that day of a spring equinox, we stood in front of 777 and announced not only the development of the Million Woman World March, but that as African women here in the U.S., we were in full support of our women and girls in Congo, Sudan, and Haiti. Because while so many are talking about the atrocities in Gaza, and we're hearing the rape and other kinds of things happening to the women, you hear very little happening for our women in Congo, Sudan, and Haiti. So we decided to make sure that people knew that we're going to be reaching out to those embassies and seeing how Black women here in the U.S. can be more supportive to our women in those countries. Women that look like us, women whose skin complexion are more like us, and that have a history and a tradition of a certain type. And so that's a commitment that we made on that day. Now, I also had the opportunity to connect with a sister because on that day, we also talked about, as far as MWM's platform, bringing forward several new components. For example, many colleges, universities have African women studies departments. However, there's very little information, very little focus on African women or Black women. I'm sorry, they have women's studies departments, but they have little information or initiatives that focuses on Black women, African women. So with MWM, we decided that we're going to start our own global African women's history curriculum and studies and study groups, but also Black women's history, legacy, and heritage initiatives. So when we announced it at the United Nations, one of my sisters came over to me. She said, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. I'm like, what? She said, there's a sister here and she needs to say something because she wants to give you something. And I said, okay, cool. And it happened to be a sister by the name of Dr. Amina Ali. Now, I want you all to please Google Harbor Heritage University. Dr. Amina Ali is the founder and the executive director of a university that she started that's Afrocentric, that is accredited and recognized by the United Nations, specializes in human rights in other areas, but it offers associates, masters, bachelor's, and PhD degrees. When you look at how it's structured, you can tell that this sister really understood African culture, tradition, folkway mores. It is incredible. And there's even a component for the children. So this all happened on that day. And she then said, when she came forward to speak, that she's giving it to MWM. So now we literally have the capability to have our people to be a part of an institution that is owned, operated, started by, controlled by, or managed by a Black woman and Black people. Now, if that's not divine, I don't know what is. And as Sister Johnny said,
we keep it thorough over here. So for the viewers, this is what she's talking about. Dr. Phile, continue.
All right, absolutely. So again, this is one of the things you will see us bring forward come October, along with many, many other components, our rites of passage components now, our publishing component, the capability to do business with ourselves globally by creating an international, what we call do business with the divine USA, the United Sisters of Africa. So we've been building with sisters from Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, and other countries, Jamaica. Over these past 5 to 10 years, many thought that MWM was just an event. Well, others knew that it certainly wasn't, which is why there was so much effort to try to destroy us. And yes, that story is getting ready to be told because I kept very good records. The who, how, when, where, and why. For those that do not know, Philadelphia is in fact the home of the boule. Now, when Ancestor Steve Coakley used to talk about it, we listened and we were like, yeah, but I can tell you up close and personal, whether they call it that today or not, the activities, the mindset, and the kind of, shall we say, sabotage that these people have been known to be about, it exists very, very much today. It's alive and kicking, just like COINTELPRO under a different name. I've watched this very carefully, again, up close and personal, and see exactly how they operate. So we've been taking notes. We can tell you again what politicians, what they do, how they do it, how they sell us out, And the wonderful thing is we're prepared now to let folks know who they are and our plan of action to address it. We had a meeting today with one of the council persons. And for those of you who are familiar with something called the Working Party, the Working Party is really a branch of the Democratic Party. It is a front. It is brought before us to make it appear as if, oh, these are the progressives and whatever. And they talk a good game. But the game is the same. As Sister Pamela mentioned earlier, they are about their agenda. Now note, gentrification, for example, is really a Democratic agenda, like some other things. We've tracked it. We went to Detroit, Chicago, Newark, New York, DC, Baltimore, and examined this thing called gentrification, which in fact is another form of genocide. No, G-E-N, genocide, gentrification. So what we've learned is 9 times out of 10, anytime you see G-E-N, particularly in a social political dynamic, you're talking about either life or death, or somewhere in between. Genealogy, geriatrics, generation, etc. And so gentrification today is not like it was 50 years ago. It is a lot more sophisticated, like everything else. And again, this was and is a national agenda that is connected to other components. For those who are familiar with something called the King Alfred Plan, did we not see something similar in 2020 when we saw COVID? Again, if you've studied, then you know some of what we were taught, some of what we saw in some of our readings actually did manifest. Another document known as the Gemstone Files. If you're not familiar with it, I suggest you at least examine it. Because again, it came out years ago, but yet the manifestation of these things are right in our midst. Now, MWM is out the box, meaning we're the only women's organ, and I didn't say organization, I said organ for a reason, because we are a body, that is also now a universal movement. The interesting thing is, again, we've never had a grant, never had corporate sponsoring. So essentially, there's not a African Black women's organization, group that is functioning nationally and internationally in this country that is not connected to the system in such a way that they're depending on grants and other kinds of things of that nature. We've never been in bed with any political party, never advocated for them. And so we have been under attack since the time of our conception. Remember, we had Sister Assata Shakur's message read in Spanish and English at the WMN March. Now, who does that? So that told people right away that, oh, hey, this is different. Our colors, red, black, and green. Look at our emblem.
Not only that, sis, you gotta tell the audience, the Queen Mother. I don't know what strings y'all pulled to get her here, but if you wasn't there for the Million Woman March tonight, I'm telling you, missed something. But
you talking about Winnie Mandela?
Well, let me share a quick story. So 1996, Mr. Farrakhan did the Day of Atonement in New York. Now remember, Mother Winnie was standing right next to him. But the interesting thing was she didn't say one word. So I saw that. Now I was underground organizing. The Million Woman March was not made public until February of 1997. But it actually began its organizing underground shortly after the Million Man March. Now, there's certain facts that I'm getting ready to convey publicly with my publication titled 100 Amazing Facts About the Million Woman March. I've been reluctant to publish it, but I'm forced to do so now because there's so much misinformation. And so, again, from a historical perspective, I've got to make sure that people know the truth. In going to the Million Man March, I had a shop here in Philadelphia and also a cultural center called Stilt Walkers. So my brother and I had a large collection of traditional, authentic African art, fabric, jewelry, handcrafted, etc. So we went to the Million Man March, but I stayed in the area where the merchants were, the vendors. My son, my brother, they all went over to the mall. Make a long story short, coming back from the Million Man March, it was so incredible to have a certain energy rekindled that the following week from the Million Man March, I literally called Chicago. I called the Nation of Islam headquarters. Now, this is a story most people know nothing about. So that's why when you hear people say that they was this or that and whatever with the Million Women March, ask them about this. Came from the Million Man March, called Chicago, Nation of Islam. I said, greetings. I want to know about the Million Woman March. I want to get involved. I want to volunteer. I just want to be a part of it. They were like, what are you talking about? I said, I just assumed, you know, there's a Million Man March. I just thought there was going to be a Million Woman March. They said, nope, sorry. I said, oh, okay, no problem. So I then remembered that the sister female element for the Million Man March was the National Council of Negro Women. So I called Washington, D.C. and I asked them, when is the Million Woman March? I'd like to get involved. They said, I don't know what you're talking about. At that point, I had what's known as an epiphany. And I heard a voice say, if not you, who? And the rest is history. So that is really the origin of the Million Woman March. I literally fasted for several months. I wore white for several months. Folks thought I was going through initiation into one of our spiritual or religious systems. It wasn't that. I was preparing. So again, MWM was never designed to be just an event. It was always to be a movement. Little did I know that other people, a few, peaked that also. And as a result, saboteurs were sent in, infiltrators, and other entities. Now, take note, MWM has been a target for several reasons. One, again, is because we've always advocated self-determination. Not just advocated it, we did it. It was grassroots. Going back to Mother Winnie, when Mother Winnie spoke for it was called the, I forget what the 96 was called. At any rate, she could not speak. At that point, I'm organizing for Million Woman March, and I was curious about that because it just didn't make sense to me. I later found out that because she was getting ready to go to trial, she was told that the only way she could be in the United States was to not speak publicly. Sister Pam Africa is one of the only people that knew that I was organizing the Million Woman March initially. So I said to Sister Pam, I said, we're going to go get Mother and we're going to bring her and she's going to speak. And Pam always thought that I was a little off anyway. And she said, all right, sis, all right. And off in the context of this was a big endeavor. So, you know, for me being what one might call a nobody, I mean, I wasn't politically connected. You
gotta remember too, this is pre-social media.
Right, exactly. And again, because of the fasting and prayer, Sister Keisha, Brother Tad, New Thorough Black Talk family, ancestors told me exactly what to do. Now, I couldn't tell that to everyone or just anyone because, you know, again, I'm not a religious person, but I am highly spiritual. In fact, when I was in college, I was a religion major and a pre-law minor. So I've always been in tune to a whole another level of existence and being. And I thought that was going to be my life in service of the Most High. And that's why I went to college. I didn't go to college, you know, because I thought I was, you know, going to teach or anything like that in the system or whatever. I went because I thought I was going to become one of the first Black women theologians. That was my plan. Anyway, I digress. There's a whole nother story with that. But again, when I realized that Mother Winnie could not speak, that she was literally being gagged, and then I also saw in her face something that was very unsettling for me. And at that point, I made up my mind. We're going to go get her. We're going to put her in front of the masses of our people to show her some love. And in that way, when she does go to court, does go to trial, she's going to know that we love her and appreciate her. Well, that was a struggle. The South African government said, no, she cannot come. She's going to trial. She can't leave at that time because it's like a month away before she goes to court. And then the U.S. government said, absolutely not. Now, at that time, I was really feeling some things, including at least 10,000 Black women who were all over the country organizing. So I then said to the South African government and to the United States government, if Mother Winnie cannot come and speak at the Million Woman March, here's what's going to happen. We're going to boycott all the products that comes out of South Africa. And a lot of people didn't know there's labels on some stuff here in the U.S. that's really coming out of South Africa, Tanzania, or at that time. So I researched and found that and sent a message back and said, we will boycott all of that. Well, lo and behold, she came. And even with that, that was a struggle because, again, I was infiltrated internally. So I had people literally, as we're organizing right up to the wire, I had people inside attempting to enact a coup twice. The Million Woman March was more than what anybody could possibly imagine. But at the same time, it is today one of the few things that has been able to survive this system in such a way that, again, we don't have to do anything beyond a certain point except what we now want to do. So with that said, the Million Woman World March coming in October is really phase 2, because it's really a 5 to 10 year plan. We're issuing something called the Black Print Agenda 25. And with that, the development of our own sewing factory, where sisters that are coming out of incarceration will now get training in how to make garments that we will produce. They will also get training in jewelry making in other areas that will enable them to be self-sufficient and us independent. And as quiet as it's kept, we've always had the intention to develop a nation. Couldn't say it then because, needless to say, a lot of people talk about how much they love Black women, but I can tell you firsthand, a lot of that is BS. Particularly when you're a Black woman and you are not aligning yourself with non-melanated people. Because most of the so-called groups and organizations that talk Black, the majority of them are either not just allies with other folk, they literally marry, go to bed with, and socialize. And so MWM has made it very clear that we are international and universal. We know how to be diplomatic, but you're not coming home with me. I'm not coming to your house. We're not pals. We can do some things together in terms of struggle, Mumi Abu Jamal, for example, and other types of interactions, but the lines get drawn. And so that has not been a popular position. And the other thing that we made very clear is that we do not advocate for other folks' lifestyles. We're very clear about our tradition, our history, and we strive to uphold it. That's why we say we're raising up the mother of civilization. There's only one entity that can say the mother of civilization. And so we have to make that clear now that we're stating that claim, because if we don't, in the next couple of years, they're going to find some kind of remnants of something that says it's the oldest. So right now, Black women is one of the best kept weapons for the liberation of our people. Because as with Sister Pamela, if you take probably the most tragic, the most downtrodden, the most horrific, because yes, this has happened to our people, meaning the system of off-white supremacy has certainly done us all an injustice, disservice, and that puts it mildly. But what Brother Malcolm taught us and others, that the Black woman is the most disrespected, disregarded entity on the planet. He said that. I'm paraphrasing, but he said that. So family, what we're saying is our struggle, even though you hear us talking about our women and girls, because we must make certain that that's now addressed in that manner. Best believe we're not talking about feminism. We're not talking about other people's concepts of being a woman. And note, Sister Keisha, I'm using my words, I think, very well, because y'all get the point of what I'm saying. We represent us and our people, our families and communities, and strive to uphold the legacies of our ancestors. And so going back to what Sister Janae said, the time has come. There's going to be an eclipse in another couple of days. We say that the release of some of the energy of what's known as Sirius is about to be launched. It's about to manifest. And we say that we are a part of the Sirius people, the Sirius children. And I'm not talking about just the S-E-R-I-O-U-S. I'm talking about the S-I-R-I-U-S.
Isn't that what you say, Brother Black?
Hey, she sounds like Jermaine Jackson right there.
Well, listen, again, we've had great teachers. For those who are not familiar with Dr. Richard King, the Black Dot, definitely some of us have not only read, but have taken some of what we've been taught and now looked at how can we bring this work forward. When I read Chank Out the Joke, and again, there's so many books, but there's one in particular that most do not make reference to, and it's called Black Africa. It's very, compared to his other books, it's a quick read. But it is one of the most poignant books that I've seen coming from our scholars, because he literally laid out how to develop a nation. And so when we talk about these things in terms of nation building, how is that going to happen? What models are we looking at? And so with MWM, we've taken the time to examine some of those things over these past 10 years. And in that now are bringing forward some of the actions that we believe is going to really help make not only a difference, but it's going to set a tone. And note, that was the Million Man March, atonement. With the Million Woman March, ours was attunement. And then that goes into a whole nother realm, again, from a historical perspective and understanding more of our Kemetic science, philosophy, theology, and so forth. We've combined that into what it is we're getting ready to do. So we hope that our people will support this universal movement. We say Black. We're not afraid to say Black because we're dealing with the universe. I study black holes because therein is not only information, but that is still so unknown to even the most scholarly so-called entities. But yet Black folks, African people, are directly linked. And without those black holes, a lot of that other stuff is not even happening. And so again, we are getting ready to provide information, lectures, and other kinds of things about black holes and other things, because again, how are we going to get free? We can't keep doing the same thing we've been doing. We better start looking at what other apparatuses can we utilize. So when we look at the Dogon, and again, talking about that serious energy, we talk about raising frequencies. Oh, and with that said, for sisters, right now, we put the call out to our women who want to be a part of our African Women's Percussion Orchestra. because when we do the Million Woman World March, there's going to be a percussion orchestra of African women, of Black women. For our girls nationwide, we now have auditions for our girls, in effect, who want to be a part of the National Black Girls Freedom Choir. Both these entities will be going on tour once we put it in place. And then our objective for next year is to take the Million Woman World March to Africa, which will kick off the decade of return for the next 10 years, where our people, and Sister Keisha, you know, we've been connecting with our great sisters such as Dr. Harrell, Antoinette Harrell, our sister Deidre Perlman. These sisters are going to make sure that we not only visit Africa or the diaspora, but that we know some of the languages, some of the traditions, some of the culture, how to trace your roots in terms of your family history. So our decade of return is to make certain that we can now, when we say reparations, and again, MWM has something called We Charge Genocide 21 areas of genocide. So it's not just reparations, that's a part of it. We have a formula is called R4J, reparations, restitution, retribution, and restoration. We added in retribution because it needs to be punishment in the future, so that when cops kill us, as a part of the structure of R4J, retribution has to now be applied. This is very different. So again, family, these are just some of the areas that you're going to hear us talk more about. We have an upcoming summit that we do every year for Queen Mother Moore weekend. Next week, we'll be dealing with the observance of the great Paul Robeson. Again, these are projects and programs that we have implemented over the past 10 years, minimally. And now we're bringing into full force. I'm so happy to have my sister Keisha and Swamp coming in. Other groups of sisters are coming in, and brothers, by the way. There's a Brothers in Support group for you. We call them the Serious Brothers, by the way, because we're really looking for our men to really assist in whatever way, particularly in the areas of security. But also knowing that our brothers have daughters, mothers, sisters, grandmothers, they need to be a part of this. This is historic. And lastly, with that said, last week I did an interview on a major radio program. I'm not going to name it because it's a non-melanated entity, but it's a national broadcast. And at that point, it was realized that the Million Woman March for Philadelphia is almost, for many, unknown, and that's intentional. So what came about from that interview was that now a committee is being put in place in order for there to be a historical plaque placed on the Parkway, which is where the Million Woman March was held. So now a committee is actually being formed to make sure that a plaque is put on the Parkway, as well as a mural in recognition of the Million Woman March. So we're making progress slowly but surely, because they really did not want to recognize anything that they cannot control. And they have attempted to control it since its conception. And we've had to shut them down with all kinds of, disclaimers and other kinds of things. But right now, one of our main missions is our 25 Sister Saints installment. Also, the national campaign for there to be a holiday for a Black woman. We had Dr. King. We now have Juneteenth. The question is, are we ready now for there to be a holiday for a Black woman? And the answer better be yeah. And so that's one of our next steps as well in bringing forward the Million Woman World March. So again, family, going back to Sister Pamela, there are hundreds, maybe thousands of women who have been incarcerated and who have gone through the violation. So with Sister Pamela and others, we have provided a capability soon for them to be able to provide their reports for us, so that when the time comes, we can compile that data and provide a report that can be distributed nationwide. These are action steps, along with other things, such as the freedom of Dr. Joy Powell, or Reverend Joy Powell. Again, we talk about political prisoners, but you rarely hear about sisters. And so MWM incoming, the Million Woman World March, excuse me, we're now ready to come forward. We need your help, support. We've come up with several campaigns, like Sister Keisha said. We rarely ask for money. We've never had a grant, never had corporate sponsoring, and we surely could have. We created something that Sister Tawanda actually created, our sister from Baltimore, and that, of course, was $2 Tuesday. But now we're asking folks, help us make the Million Woman World March 1 million members. The Honorable Marcus Garvey did it with 2 million 100 years ago. We could do no less. Mother Callie House, 300,000. We want 1 million plus for the Million Woman World March. And guess what? We're asking $1. And not because we're depending on that, because we have a whole nother plan to raise our money. We're getting ready to partner with, well, we're already partnering with Nagas. You'll see very soon how those who are interested can be affiliate marketer, salesperson with a Black-owned company. And Sister Keisha is very familiar with Nagas. For the sneakers and other products, we got the sweatshirts and other products. We have other Black businesses that we're partnering with. So we're not going to be depending on membership or other things. We're going to be doing business. We're creating our own natural product line for skin, hair, and body care. And then partnering with other brothers and sisters that have that as well. So you can imagine for the Million Woman World March, what type of marketing capability, exposure that's going to be for our people that we're doing business with. And we'll be doing business from A to Z. So, Sister Keisha, I thank you and the Thorough Black Talk family for allowing me to share this information with you all. And hopefully our website was supposed to be up last week. Hopefully it'll be up next week, but I'll definitely keep everyone posted. And again, sisters, if you have a book or any product that you want marketed, get with us, because that's one of our major moves now, to make certain that adequate exposure, capability to have products purchased, exchanged, and so forth. That's one of the main things that we're about to do as the summer comes in. So, Asante Sana, to all of you again. Sister Keisha, back to you.
Thank you, sister. You know, when I say I got information networks, I got information networks. Who's in it? What we do is none of your business. But we have information networks. And I definitely appreciate you, Dr. Phile, for coming in and dropping these jewels and giving us information. Of course, when you tell me to, you know, I'm definitely going to promote it. Definitely. So for Sister Marcia, when I said things are being done behind the scenes that you don't know about, we can't talk about it yet. Just got to hold the line, because this is serious business. When you're going up against white aggression, when you're going up against systems worldwide, a lot comes at you, you know. And I'm going to let you go. But before I do, I said last week that I was honored by one of several women honored by the Uhuru movement last week. So when they asked me to get up to speak and give some information, I started talking about Pam Africa and Dr. Phile and Sister Leola Maddox and so many others who came before me. But they was like, Sister Keisha, it's about you tonight. I said, no, it's not about me. Because had I not gone to the Million Woman March, I pretty much doubt that y'all would see me on these platforms right now, because I was outside. So, you know, it was a phone call from a cousin of mine, and she has transitioned. Aunt Marie, that was Titi and Nay, and they got on me, and say, you know, we want to go out to the Million Woman March. You know anybody who got a bus going? You don't know people. So I called Dawn Carter and I said, you got seats on your bus? And she was like, yeah, come through. So I called my cousin and her friend back. Look, y'all got 2 seats. They got y'all. This is where you meet the bus at. I had just come in from partying. I was going to bed. And my cousin TT was like, oh, hell no, you going with us. You going with us. And so it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't express what that has done for my life. So I've always been in tune with Dr. Phile and all the work that she's done. Shout out to the Philly family. Shout out to Brother Lumumba. You got to give Brother Lumumba some love because he definitely does a lot of the work that you see Dr. Phile into tune with. So we got to give shout out to Brother Lumumba. But again, sister, thank you for coming in. We definitely appreciate you. Every Saturday, y'all get the link on our Facebook page when she goes live on New Day Liberation. You never know what's going to come through on New Day on Saturday night.
Oh my gosh, yes. So the piece of the one
white supremacists, we don't bite all kind of people on her platform.
There's one thing I want to share though, and I have to say this because if I don't, my ancestors would be very upset with me, and it is that many groups and organizations, and I'm talking about women, for whatever reason, they have not supported Million Woman March over the years. And one of the things that I realized, and now I'm so happy to be now with sisters who are stepping up, because for whatever reason, a lot of our women are locked into, if it's not a brother in the leadership position or role, they're not really going to support something beyond a certain point that a sister is heading up, if it's of a certain caliber. And I've watched this for 2 decades now, and so I can bring you the receipts to show you. So I'm saying that to say that I want folks to pay very close attention to the various groups and organizations that step up now. It's very important because this is going to tell a story. Whenever you have the largest gathering in the world of any women now coming forward into the forefront of not just another event or a social gathering, but with a position, a political position. And by the way, Million Woman March is now developing a political agenda, a Black women's political agenda that will be given to not only the so-called presidential candidates, but that's going to also be given to local candidates in our communities. Now, this is a national effort with Black women, so that in the future, when people come and ask our people to vote for them, they will at least see something on paper to say, but wait a minute, here's an agenda we'd like for you to look at. What are your thoughts about this? What on here can you support? So these are some of the initiatives that we have already begun. We've already even distributed for Philadelphia to the city council and asking them, what is your position on reparations? What is your position on the release of political prisoners? What is your position on student loan debt, Black student loan debt, before any other entity is given student loan forgiveness or whatever? Our student loan debt needs to be rescinded. No one else should be getting that prior to us. So these are some of the issues and things that we've literally began to bring forward. So again, I want folks to pay close attention, because very soon we're going to be issuing letters asking people to give us their endorsement, if nothing else on paper. Watch very carefully how this plays out, because this is going to tell a story and then some. And by the way, Sister Keisha, if I may be candid, I'm saying that in response to the invitation that you received, because I won't be getting one. And yes, I said it, because I don't mingle with certain entities beyond a certain point, and everyone knows that. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Facts. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We keep it thorough over here. We keep it thorough. Again, Dr. Phile, thank you for coming in. We gotta have you Black again. For sure. Kudos to the Philly family. We're going to let y'all get up out of here. Brother Black, your final thoughts and comments. Let's rock up out.
Okay, real quick, we in the dovetail stages. Everything is coming together. This is why my sisters, we couldn't go in too deep tonight because of course, you know, we had two great guests, and thank you, Dr. Phile, by the way. Yeah, we dovetailing into fifth dimension. So all the things that's happened within the last 5 to 6 years, COVID, spotting aliens, and all these things that we've never seen before in our lifetime, to say that made the mainstream press and all that lies anyway. We had Jacob Rothschild, who just passed away. The royal family is rumored to have been all passed away. That's why every time you see them, it's like Biden. They look like clones or doubles or whatever. We had the destruction of the entertainment industry with all of the people that are being exposed lately, and the sex rings that they're operating, and so on and so forth. And now we got the solar eclipse coming in not even 4 days. So stay tuned. I would suggest, especially you guys up there where nor'easter is supposed to hit, get you some water and at least some basic provisions, and ride this weekend out, hopefully in the crib with your loved ones. So let's see this coming. I'm not making no predictions to say it's going to be this or that, but you know they're going to use this because, like the saying goes, never let a good crisis go to waste. So with that said, we way over time, and you know I love y'all, and we're going to see each other here next week on the Baltimore Bridge. Peace.
Shade of it all.
Oh, my bad.
Done. He's done. Mic off.
Very shady. Back to the Bronx
Love
with
my
him.
brother. Sister Marcia, your final thoughts and comments.
Well, as the queen comes in, I want to thank Dr. Phile for her fabulous information. I was also there at the Million Women's March back in October 1997, back in the crowd and appreciating our people. I just have a couple of things to sum up the whole afternoon of conversation or evening of Black-tastic talk, right? And information. Mama Pamela Smith, your struggle has embodied us, the same as the struggles of Ashada and Winnie Mandela. Let's also always remember how many days of sacrifice people have placed in for us, and move us forward with that. I'd like to echo some words from Dr. Baina Bello, Mama Baina Bello. She's also calling for percussionists to play as the eclipse is happening from noon to 6. She is asking percussionists to play hard and play strong, because this is not just for the weak. Military intervention in Haiti is not necessary, as well as it is not necessary in our urban streets and in the continent. So we must usher and demand the universe to work on our calling, because we are the Black stars. I will also love to say that, remember Marcus Garvey told us that this world is run on a bluff. And so why will we allow these devils to bluff us away? Let's stand on our straightness, because we are Black power. Thank you, everyone, for this great conversation, for a great Black-tastic Thursday on Thorough Black Talk. And Brother Tad, off to you.
Holla. First, I want to thank Sister Pamela Smith for coming through and sharing that heart-wrenching story. We want to thank her adopted daughter, Sister Johnny Nzinga. Thank you for joining us. Definitely our sister, Queen Mother, Dr. Empress Phile. It's always good to hear from you. Definitely good to have you on. She did mention the King Alfred plan. If you haven't read it, this is one of the pamphlets. I got this from my good brother, Talib Kweli. Today is April 4th. April 4th, 56 years ago, the good minister, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on this day. Please, everyone, there's a book, the political philosophies of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with the introduction from Coretta Scott King. Dr. King's book, Why We Can't Wait. Dr. King's speeches, Knock at Midnight, and other lectures he gave. Another Dr. King book, Call to Consciousness. Another book Dr. King wrote, Stride Towards Freedom. And from Dr. King's lawyer and his wife, An Act of State, delving into the case and assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I picked these books instead of other books written about him because we have to quote him in his own words. We have to get up off that I have a dream speech and look at the direction he was moving in and why they felt they had to delete him off the picture. Dr. King was one of our bravest freedom fighters, contrary to what some extreme pro-Black brothers may say, because Dr. King was the only man that marched into enemy territory with no intentions on fighting back, knowing that he could be deleted. That's a different kind of bravery that I haven't got, and I don't think I'll ever have. Because when I go to the enemy territory, I'm going with the intention to exact any energy they try to give me. So again, we must acknowledge Dr. King, get into his works and not the works of others that talked about him. He wrote books himself. He gave speeches himself, gave his thoughts, opinions, and ideas. We don't need it remixed and regurgitated. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Hopefully you were inspired by something you heard. It's your turn to go out and inspire others. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there's always better days ahead. Sister Keisha.
Thank you to our guests for coming in and giving us loads of information. We definitely appreciate Sister Pamela Smith and her, again, adopted daughter, Sister Nzinga. I'll see you in August when I'm down there in D.C. I got some research and I want to hang out with my swap sisters for a minute. So I'll definitely be down there and introduce you to them as well.
Yes, I'm
get
ready.
in where we fit in.
That's right. I just wanted to say one thing. Thank you all for inviting us out tonight and allowing us to share Queen Mother Pam Smith story. And like I said, when I first met her, I wasn't in this place. I wasn't so gun-ho for the revolution, but I was sick and tired of being sick and tired as well, you know, and I really wish that it was a man in the position that I'm in, a leader, a true leader, you know, but because it wasn't one, I had to step up and be one. That's why I'm being honored with the title of Nzinga. You know, I'm not worthy of it, of even walking in her shadow, I tell people, but I bear a striking resemblance to her statue and to her struggle. She fought so hard, and I'm speaking on Queen Nzinga, for her people. You know, I've been fighting and trying to protect Black men and women from this oppressor all my life. You know, I'm a child of the Panthers. My dad was an original Black Panther here in Washington, D.C. So all I did was come back home, y'all. And it's time for us to go home and do some real work. We're on our land. This is our land, you know. And the sister spoke about power and true Black power. It's not Black power, y'all, if you don't use it. If you don't use your Black power, you're going to lose your power. You're going to lose your voice. You're going to lose your place in this world. You know, I have been fighting. I'm telling you, I lost both of my brothers, 2 brothers. One was murdered, the other one drowned in 2008, 2009. Okay, well, 2002 and 2008. My mother had stage 4 lung cancer. Found out on my birthday, April 28th, 2009. Her sister died in October of 2009. She died in November 2009. 2 months later, my father-in-law died. So you tell me, what do you do with all that hurt and anger and pain besides process it and try to cope with it? And the things I was doing at the time that I met Pamela Smith was a coping process for me. You know what I mean? I was a motorcycle riding idiot, fool. I had a motorcycle accident, I almost killed myself. But I was riding with outlaw bikers, believe it or not. Okay, I got road rash to prove it. Okay. But just to say that, you know, everybody has a story. Everybody has a place in your life. You know, Reverend A.J. Barmer is coming to speak at the Sankofa International Conference this weekend. He was my first master teacher. He is the founder of the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah. And he's coming to Washington, D.C. Saturday to see me and for him to share his story about how I used to come to their classes when I was in Greenville, South Carolina. Had no idea I was even going to move to Washington, D.C. during that time. But the words he spoke to me and the visions that he gave to us by me reading his book, and you can check his book out as well, the original books of the Bible. Okay, he wrote that book. It's in 3 dimensions. And we'll get down that rabbit hole another time, y'all. I know y'all ready to go home, but we definitely have got to connect. I appreciate y'all for having this platform. I appreciate y'all for allowing us this space to share our stories. I am the host of the Million Woman World March Washington, D.C. chapter, and I need help. You know, we need a lot of help. We need the grassroots organizations to come and join us and join forces with us so we can make the Million Woman World March and Universal Movements a total success where they will never wipe us out of history again. They will never attempt to vilify Empress Chi and the things that she's achieved by bringing 2.5 million women to Philadelphia in 1997. And I tell her all the time, I was just graduating high school. I didn't even know. I graduated, you know. But I do remember seeing it on TV and everything like that. But because my dad went to the Million Man March in 95. So, you know, I'm just so glad to be in this space right now with conscious people, vibing with the right type of people. You know, we ain't waking people up no more. If y'all want to sleep, go ahead, because we woke. we eyes wide open over here.
We gotta let them go. We gotta let them go.
Yes,
Sister,
but I just thank you
for joining us. We'll have you Black on the program again as we get closer to the summer. And we definitely appreciate all of y'all. And, you know, you never know who you're going to run into on the streets that watch our show. You never know who you're going to run into that watch our show. Check it out. Good night, y'all. You never know. But with that said, y'all have a good night. We're out.